We need to talk.
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 Welcome back to Me Talk, episode number 30. 30. If you guys have been here from the beginning, from our first episode, which was about 10 minutes long, now we're busting out 2 hours. 2 hours from 10 minutes. Our first podcast was 10 minutes long, or like 11 minutes, some shit. Because we know what the fuck we're doing. We started this thing on a whim, just like, you know what? Stop thinking, just do. And we haven't stopped.
An hour and a bit.
Your first couple?
First couple were probably like an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
Like an hour and 15.
You guys start on the rise. We were like, you know, let's just test the water and see if you guys.
Now
the thing
it's
is,
2 hour content.
our first episode, we made it, and the feedback we wanted to get was it's too short. That's all we wanted to know.
Yeah.
If everyone said, why is it so short? I'm like, okay.
We never got that, but when they were 2 hours, people were like, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
You guys lose.
I
Yeah.
had one person tell me that 2 hours was too long. I was like,
Yeah?
fuck you. Like,
Yeah.
Like, you're not a podcast.
It's like, you know what?
Because some podcasts
You're
are
not
3
for
hours
us.
long.
You're not for us.
That's what I mean. Some podcasts are long as
3,
shit.
4 hours, some of them. So it's
Hey,
like,
man.
You're not for a podcast.
You guys hear voices, obviously. I skipped their intros. I skipped my own intro.
Skip!
I'm your host, Mr. KOA, alongside.
Top boy.
And we have oxtail extra gravy.
It's just extra gravy.
Oh, just extra?
Oh, oxtail.
So it's not.
We're obviously
it's,
talking
but which
about
gravy is
oxtail.
it? Which gravy is
Talking
it?
about oxtail.
Is it what? Like
Come on.
what other
We
gravy?
don't respect
Obvious.
any other gravy
What?
but oxtail.
Swiss chalet gravy.
Some of you guys are putting
Hey,
Wow.
beef stew gravy on your rice.
We got extra gravy in the building. These are my boys. We were on their show 3 weeks ago, maybe. Maybe.
weeks.
Has it been that?
weeks?
Gotta be longer than
Longer than that, eh?
way
No,
longer
it's
than
like
that.
Longer than
3
3
or
weeks?
4 weeks. Yeah, no,
No,
you
it's
guys
like
are-
a month. Like
This is a month
ago,
bro.
It's definitely over a month
Yeah,
ago.
we're in October now.
I guess it is 4 weeks.
Say,
Technically.
like what?
Guys, like that's like a month ago.
It's like a month ago. 4 weeks.
Yeah, Jay's the kind of guy who have a kid that's 2 years old and say 24 months.
I hate that shit.
Oh, my son's 24 months. Years.
I hate that
Like,
shit.
just
I
say
feel
Wow.
like women say that so they can breastfeed longer sometimes.
Stop.
I don't know. It's
Stop
just-
it. Just giving them an excuse to keep breastfeeding.
like, what
He's
the
only
heck?
38 months. Months. I'm still saying months, so it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, let them introduce themselves. We got Marlon and Jay in the building. Take it away, people.
Yeah, I'm Marlon,
Pull the
aka
mic.
That Dude McFly.
Pull the mic.
whoa.
I'm Marlon, aka That Dude McFly. I'm a host alongside
Jason, J Montenegro, blah blah blah.
aka Jaheem.
What's going on? Not Jaheim.
Yeah,
If you
put
want,
your woman first.
if you want to catch a deaf eyes, tell me look like Jaheim in real life.
Don't go.
What do you guys do other than your podcast?
Well, I act. I'm a comedian. I'm a YouTuber. I host a podcast. I MC events. I host events. I promote parties. And yeah.
Are you the president?
Pardon me?
Are you the president?
Am I the president?
Yeah.
Of all those things? Yes.
What else?
Works for
What
me.
else
I'm
do you
the
do?
president, I'm the janitor. I'm
owner,
HR,
CEO.
Like, I'm all of that, yeah.
What are you up to, Jay?
I'm a philanthropist at times.
I rate it. Philanthropist. Okay.
No, I'm actually just a digital guy, content creator,
Yeah.
designer, web designer, graphic designer, whatever. Do a bunch of digital shit. Just quit my job, so I'm jobless. So I'm looking for a job a lot.
Unless you're job impaired.
Whatever, man.
So we gotta put this.
Job impaired.
You know what's funny? I feel like I've quit my job before without having another job. Usually people say, "Oh, don't quit your job till you have
Yeah.
something lined up."
Rule number 1.
Yo, honestly, there was like last summer I quit my job without having another job, and it was the best feeling ever. It's
weirdly liberating.
It's a
It's
weird.
like when you lose your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after that first day, you're like, you know what? This isn't.
Yeah.
Fuck my phone.
bad.
Because I think we're so used to safety, and we're so used to like, I don't want to do something unless something's ready for me. Or I don't want to break up with a girl unless I have a girl I'm already kind of talking to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to everyone's scared to just let go of something.
jump
and
off the
just
cliff.
go out there, you
Get
know?
out of their routine.
But there's a job I had. They're really racist, to be honest. I felt like they're racist. They're treating me like I was the only black guy in the whole building. Actually, sorry, me and then another black woman she was older than me, but I was the only black guy in the whole building.
Wait,
She wasn't-
she wasn't with that dude. You always use Snapchat.
No, that was a job before.
Okay.
No, they were fine. They were fine.
affirmative action hire.
But yeah, what happened?
Wow.
Long story short, I had my cell phone. Sometimes I would use it. Everyone else has their cell phone every single day. They text all the time, blah blah.
You're the only one
No
getting
one
in trouble
says
for it.
nothing. Nobody says anything.
Yeah.
One day I come in, I have my cell phone. I get called to the office. Of
course
Jack,
you do.
his name's Jack, the owner of the building.
Of course it is.
I
His
get
name's Jack.
he calls my desk phone. He's like, Ryan, can I speak to you? I'm like,
Uh-oh.
I've never been in Jack's office. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, no one else can call the Jack's office.
Yeah.
What the hell? And everyone's scared of Jack because he's like a big fat guy who just sits in his office.
Yeah.
Get in his office, whatever. He goes, and on top of it, they've been like throwing so much work on me, right? Nobody else. Everyone's like, oh, Ryan, here's this. Ryan, here's this. And I'm backed up.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I see some stuff haven't been done. You're a little backed up. Is that because your cell phone? I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I've been told that you've been on your cell phone, so maybe
Who's
that's
snitching?
someone snitching, right? So I'm like,
Somebody didn't get a paper that they wanted.
Suzanne
and
is
saw
pissed.
you. Yeah, Suzanne is just.
so I'm like,
Irate.
So so you know what he says to me? He goes, from now on, you're just gonna leave your cell phone in the car, okay?
Wow.
Is that okay? He's a boss. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I was like, what am I supposed to say? I'm like, yeah, sure. Only me though. You leave your stuff in the car. I'm like, all right. So next day I come back to work next day.
I'd be snitching on
everyone.
Next day I come back, I'm not leaving my phone in the car. I put it in my pocket. Well, I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Put it in my pocket. But now I know I'm in the room with 4 other women, right?
Yeah.
Or 3 other women. So I know one
And
of them.
only one of them-
One of them are
one of
doing
them's a
it.
mole.
One of them are doing it. So I'm like, so now I'm like, okay, I don't know which one of you guys are doing it, but someone's doing it. I'm like, all right.
It's at that moment you realize how little bit people go on their phones. You're like, come on. Like, I know I seen you on this shit
Yep.
yesterday.
So I'm one black guy, 3 white women in one room. Okay. And my phone,
It already sounds like a
my
case.
phone vibrates, and I'm like, I literally felt the heartbeat like doom doom. Like I'm like, who's watching me? Someone is. Don't know who it is yet. So I do, you know, like the lowest cell phone text, like
Oh,
where you're
still
like, you're still looking, right? And we all have desks. So it's my desk, her desk, 2 desks in front of me. So I know the one here, she can see me directly.
Yeah.
They can see my eyes, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of like text and look around. All I hear is, Ryan, didn't Jack say leave your phone in the car?
Wow.
I'm like this.
I would have no, but you see,
Yo,
that's what you're supposed to do, though.
I turned to her. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Were you in the meeting yesterday? And
That's
she
my
goes,
point. You
I'm like,
should've-
because I'm like, how are you
I
knowing
would
that?
have
Like,
pulled it out right away to be like to see which one
Yeah.
of them said that, and I'm
So-
like, okay, you're the mole.
so she goes, oh no, but Jack told me to watch you. As she says this, one of the girls that in the office, she comes in, texting on the phone. I'm like, nah, I'm done. That day I quit.
So
That
wait,
day.
the girl walked in texting, and you watched the other girl
cussing me.
and she said nothing. To the girl.
The other girl walks in, texting, talking to her boyfriend, blah blah.
Were these people older?
They're older. Yeah, they're older.
There it is.
Ageism,
There it is
colorism,
right
all
there.
of it.
So
These kids and their phones.
right, but that's
people
just
have no one to text.
just to say before going on any longer on that. When I left that job, the feeling of being like, you know what, I left because I'm like, I'm not gonna take shit. Like I'm not gonna just leave. I'm not gonna be scared to leave because I don't have a job. I'm like, I'm not gonna stand up for this shit, so I'm gonna leave. What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like
That's the point it got to. It was basically like, am I gonna stick around and let these people bend me over every day, or am I gonna like bite the bullet and tell them to go fuck themselves?
yeah.
So,
Oh, they're treating you like shit.
yeah.
Yeah. What
I
job
mean,
is
there's
it?
guys that have been working there for 15 years.
Shout
on,
them out. What job
on
is it?
contract.
What job is it?
Of course.
At Chorus.
Chorus?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talk about
Chorus
the show.
Entertainment.
Oh, the entertainment place. Oh, okay.
Guys have been working there for 15 years on contract. Can you imagine that? Working at a company for 15 years on
And
contract.
getting invoiced,
So that
and
means
if your
that
boss has gone on vacation. And
Wait,
he
getting what?
can't invoice you your check. You have to just
Oh.
wait.
What?
Have you ever heard of that?
Wait,
people are working
Say that
under
again.
those
This-
conditions.
This guy, his boss, went on vacation,
Okay.
didn't write up the invoices, so he had to wait until his boss came back from vacation
To get paid?
Yeah, so basically, if my boss wasn't there to take my invoice to fucking finance, then I wasn't getting.
He just goes, oh, sorry.
What kind
Fuck
of
me.
historic shit is that?
See you later, Jay.
It's going up to the cottage.
I'm
Oh,
a
fuck me.
for the weekend. with the
Phones
boys.
off.
Going on vacations for 3 weeks, paid.
Oh, mad.
Crazy.
What a world.
Are you
Yeah.
are you in a relationship right now?
No, with myself.
With yourself? How about you?
I'm so
Blair?
I'm
single.
in a relationship with my Amazon Prime right now.
See, these are 2 very, very smart men. This is what you do, guys.
I'm ultra single.
Take notes. If another man ever asks you for a relationship, never. Your girlfriend knows who she is. If you have a girlfriend,
Definitely.
your boyfriend knows who he is. If you don't have to answer people's questions. Those questions.
I mean, I
was a
really
test,
actually
really.
don't have a girlfriend. So
No, I believe you.
yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But it was still a test. Because I mean,
I know you.
even if you did have a girlfriend, would you say something online?
Yeah. I wouldn't say who she is. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like go that far, but of course I'd
Yeah.
admit it if I had it.
We're grown. We all growing out
I
here.
don't give a shit. I'm
Wicked.
not afraid. I'm not afraid of none of you niggas.
Not lying on your dick.
So as you guys know, this is a relationship talk podcast.
Oh, fuck.
You guys
Thought it was stocks. Thought we were
talking finance.
Flex coins.
you guys started your podcast when?
April.
April?
Yes. I believe it's
So
April.
a couple months after us, you guys have built a pretty good following, which is wicked. We built our own following as well. I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have seen, people on both our sides, like, I came from WNTT, I came from Extra Gravy, like...
We
so
cross-pollinate
Yeah.
very well.
So people are fucking with both of us, which is sick. So this episode, we dedicated for you guys to kind of have perspective on all four of us.
It was like Simpsons and Family.
Yeah,
Guy
that
episode.
was one of the best episodes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It was so perfectly
they put
mixed.
together everyone's character
Yeah.
and what they would do so
Yep.
well.
Especially if you appreciate both shows, you're
Oh
like,
my
yes, this is
God.
great.
So, yeah, for
Yeah.
kids who didn't been watching Simpsons since like 2005 and up, you probably think Simpsons are whack. And
Yeah.
I don't blame you at all.
Yeah, now.
Because they did get really
90s
Yeah, yeah.
Simpsons, nigga.
Yep.
Oh my God,
That shit was pretty
untouchable.
raw.
Untouchable.
So, Zamora got some questions for us. I think I was just checking here and there. I was going through the page. People were dropping some real good questions. If we can get through them all, wicked. If we can't,
We're on Instagram.
yeah, on
Yeah.
Instagram. People have some real people ask some fucked up questions on their page, but it always makes for good discussion. So Zamora has the questions. How many questions do you have about approximately? Fuck, you just scrolled a lot. It's just like
There were replies. There were a lot of replies.
Okay.
People were talking to each other, but we'll start off with the first one. I don't know how to pronounce your Insta name, but her name's Ashley Velez. She says,
hey Ashley, Velezes are always sexy.
Velez.
she says,
Always.
why do men think showing how they feel is a weakness? Not every woman has the intention to do something wrong to them. Shake my head.
Why? Sorry, repeat that one more
She's
time.
asking, why do men think showing how they feel is a weakness?
Why do women think we don't show how we feel?
Yeah, that's a very leading
Maybe
question.
we just don't feel as much as you guys.
Did she mean like why don't guys show emotion? Is that what
No,
she
I'm telling you what she said.
That's
She
literally
said,
the question.
He's like, what did she mean?
no, she said, why do men think showing how they feel is a weakness?
We don't think that. Do you guys think that?
I think I show girls how I feel. I tell girls actually exactly how I feel.
Do you think that?
I think in society, people are like,
Do you though?
Me, no.
You only ask these questions based
No.
on stuff. Do you think that?
no, but
Do
I
you?
think her question's coming from like what people.
That's what I'm saying. It's a very
No, I think it's coming from a personal space.
yeah. That's very. I don't think that. Do you feel that way?
I don't think what she's saying is coming from a personal space. To be honest with you, I know a lot of women who think that way. That think that like some guys
That's
just don't
true.
like talking about their emotions and shit like that. But
I don't see that.
I feel like the more you hang out with dudes, you realize like, nah, we talk about that.
I don't
shit.
think we show our emotion in that sense. Like, we don't say, this is how I feel about this. We just say, I don't like this. Or I don't like that.
Very
Where
direct.
it's all about, like, more logic with us. Where it's like,
very much more logical.
yeah, it's
than,
like we're not approaching things from an emotional standpoint. It's more so from a logical standpoint. So if it's making us angry, we're not going to be like, I feel angry about this.
No, I
because
just
of this.
I just don't like
It's
this.
just, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I do like this,
Yeah.
or why are you doing that? Why aren't you
Yeah,
doing
they're
that?
very
Like,
rational. We're very
We're
rational.
not gonna be like, I'm confused as to why, and my feelings are all like women are far better at breaking it down as to why they feel
the reasoning
the
behind
reasoning
it.
behind what they.
I don't really care about the reason. It's
Yeah,
just
I just
this
know
is
what it
not
makes me
good.
feel.
This is not good.
I don't want to
So
do
let's
this.
change this.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is good.
Yeah.
Like, it's. I think you should be able, just by what the person's saying, you should be able to be like, okay, so then they feel this way about it. Why should I have to just put it out, like, say it?
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And like,
Nah, I feel you. I think it's because sometimes, like, a lot of times people just like to find out. They want to know the why, right? Like, why you feel a particular way, because then it kind of just reveals a bunch of other things
so
about
then
you.
ask that. So then ask that.
I feel like some people will do, and then we're just like, what do you mean why?
No, more
Like,
times
I
when
just-
there's a why, I do not have an answer for the why.
You don't?
Really?
Not all the time.
For
If I
example,
don't like something,
what?
I don't have an answer right away. I just don't like it. I don't have to like break
Like,
it
why
down
don't
into
you like
why
it?
I don't like it.
Okay, so let's give an example and put the emotion behind it. Then, like, okay, your girl's going out and she's wearing some shit that's like, wow.
Like,
Because I know you don't
Like-
like the freeing of the nipple.
no, I don't. So
He
you're gonna have
doesn't like nipples free at all. He wants some chain meshed.
No, I just want
locked
them
away.
covered.
He wants chainmail.
Just
Not even pasties.
He wants
Just
to
have her
shoot a
some
barber.
pasties on her nips.
what? No.
Pasties.
Pasties?
You don't.
The
you're
breast
not,
is nothing without an areola and nipple. Come on.
You're
You
not
put
about
the
the.
pasty there. It's basically the same thing.
Oh, so just come out with nothing and just pasties on top?
I mean, like she's wearing like a nice mesh shirt, got some pasties on.
Why?
You're not
Why
about
not? They're like in the shape of a
hashtag.
flower.
You see how the man asked for the why?
Why?
Why are you doing
Because they
this?
feel it looks good and it makes
To
them feel good.
who? No, it doesn't.
To
How do you
themselves.
know that
Maybe
they
no.
make
Actually,
feel
no. You're right. It does make those ones feel good.
Those ones?
Yes.
What are those
You
ones?
know those ones.
What are
Already.
those
The
ones?
ones that do
Trouble.
that.
See, we're going down a problematic path here.
Anyway,
So you're against freeing the nipples?
Next question.
we've already discussed my perspective on women who like to show
But
nipples.
You're
see,
against-
this is
Listen,
what we're doing.
they
This
can
is what we're
do-
doing.
they
Look,
can-
watch this. Watch
Wait,
this.
wait, go ahead.
So then, why do you feel that way?
Why do I feel?
Why can't I go out with my pasties? Why do you feel?
You or a girl?
I'm your girl.
You're
Why
not.
ca-
That's a weird.
You know what I'm talking
No,
about.
you're not doing that.
Why?
So, a girl.
So a tick,
Yeah. A girl.
your girl,
Yeah.
why don't you want her? Why don't you want her
Okay.
to wear this?
So
No, why do you feel the way
I feel
you feel about her
this.
wearing it?
Okay. I personally, I'm speaking for myself, of course. I don't.
Personally, anytime someone
I'm
starts.
gonna stop you if you're not telling me feelings.
No, I'm telling you, these are absolute feelings. I do not want to be with somebody, right, who requires or feeds off attention given something that they can control. So you knowing you go out with your nipples out or showing or whatever, you absolutely know that demands a certain amount of attention. It does. Whether nipples or
I still
nipples.
haven't heard a feeling.
I don't like that you enjoy that. I don't like.
I don't like your joy.
I don't like that. That's something that you enjoy. That's what
Okay,
I'm saying.
but-
So that's a personal thing.
Okay,
I might not-
I understand that. No,
yeah.
I completely.
It
get
might
what
not
you're
work
saying.
for me. That's
But
it.
okay, I think you only take it from one perspective, though.
Which perspective is that?
That it's like a whole thing to do.
No. I'm not saying a person who puts in.
He said those type of ones. He said those type of ones.
What I mean by those ones are girls who like to show off their body.
So what girls are those?
I just said girls who like to show off their body.
But like,
There's some girls who like to show off their body.
you
and some-
said you know those ones.
the ones who want to show their body. There's conservative women. There's non-conservative. There's the type of
But
woman.
what if it's
the type of woman who would.
conservative- because
ahead.
okay, from my understanding of the free the nipple thing,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like it's
But I'm not talking about.
Not-
I've
No, I'm
explained.
just
I'm not
using
talking
for
about the
this
free nipple
example.
movement because the
Yeah,
movement is their own
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
for
I mean,
sure.
women that go out to like not.
no, but
Yeah.
those women that are going out are a part of that.
That's
if they're
the-
doing
Not
it.
always. Not always.
No, but I know.
That's
I know
not
it's
true
not
at all.
always,
That's
but
not
you can't decide when it is for them.
But that's what I'm saying. I would know if that person is going out for a particular reason or if they're doing it for the.
If
free-
it's your girl,
if it's
then
my
you
girl,
would
like I'll know her reasoning behind why she's
Okay,
doing
so
it.
if it's your girl and
Yeah.
she's a hotep and she's like, "Yo, we gonna
not.
break the patriarch,
I'm not. I'm sorry.
break the patriarchal norms."
It's not mine.
And-
It's not my girl. That's not happening. That's not a girl I'm with. I'm not doing
That's
that.
not
What
a
if
girl
it's
I'm with.
Okay, watch this. So
Yeah.
what if you started dating a girl? She's the way you want her to be.
Sure.
At first, and then she starts reading some
Transition.
books,
Mm-hmm.
sees a 1-2 documentary, and she feels like, you know what? I want to help break this thing,
Conception.
this stigma that we cannot show our nipples. Guys have nipples, we have nipples. Why
Yeah.
is it okay for them to show it and we can't? So she's feeling liberated in joining the movement
Good for
and
her.
trying to spread it.
Good for her.
Are you so you're breaking up with her? That's like a
Oh, we'll talk about this. How strongly do you feel about this?
if she feels strongly to the point of tears, where it's like
If
it's
she
about
feels-
woman
listen.
to the core. It's not about attention, but it's about women's rights.
I'll hold her hand and say, I appreciate you.
Wow.
But I'm gonna let you go, baby girl. I gotta let you go, baby girl.
Damn.
Wow.
Like,
God
listen,
damn.
I will
I
not.
get it. No,
I
I
will,
get it.
I will
get it.
not. No, I
understand it.
get what you're doing, which is fine. I will not. My biggest thing is I will never want to be with somebody or want someone to be with me where they feel like they can't be themselves, or if they become.
How does it make you feel though? How does it make you feel when if they were to do that? Like, would you feel angry?
Not
would
anger.
You feel
Disappointment.
disappointment?
Just
See, we
the
try to get to the
feeling, yeah.
feelings.
Disappointment.
That's where it is.
And the, but the
Disappointment.
disappointment isn't in them.
It's in your
It's-
expectations.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what because we all have our own expectations of what we want to be
Definitely.
with. So I'm not mad at you.
So you're kind of
I'm not-
disappointed in yourself.
I'm like shit. I'm like shit. She changed. Like,
Damn it!
well,
That's where it's at.
yeah.
Don't kill me.
So yeah, that's it. Good question. Next question.
Ryan
Jesus.
wants his woman submissive.
Yeah,
That's not what I said. That's not
Ryan
what I
wants his,
said.
like.
No, be yourself.
I remember watching that Maury episode where a dude was telling his girl when to shower and ting. Like,
That's wild.
wouldn't let her.
That's
bathe,
too much
like,
micromanagement.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's-
wouldn't even want to do that.
Yeah, that's wild. That is, but just to close that topic, there's a lot of women who I feel like a woman that I'm attracted to, on their own, they don't want that attention. You know what I'm saying? Like on their own, they're like, I don't want to wear this because I don't want to get that attention. I know
where this
you know what I'm
is
saying? I feel like it's not something I would have to have a conversation with to be like, I don't think you
on
should
their
do.
own, they
I
don't-
don't think you should
To
do
be
this.
honest, the more I see it, and tell me if I'm wrong, have you guys? There's been a high rise in nipples,
Absolutely.
since Coachella.
High rise in there.
on the gram,
100%.
especially.
It's a thing now.
That's a thing.
It's a
Is
thing.
to show
Yes.
your breasts in some sort of artistic way or with a long caption.
Yeah, with it.
So
Of new
it seems artistic.
new hairstyle.
You know, I was always insecure about.
Yeah.
Blah, it's
Shut up.
like,
Shut up.
Whatever.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, there's been a high rise in that, and honestly, I'm becoming desensitized
Yes.
somewhat to nipples.
You've been
And
desensitized.
What?
Porn.
I wasn't desensitized
No, you
because
still
of porn.
enjoy- you still
Titties
enjoy-
still
you
excited
love
me
to see it when you-
for
yeah,
years.
yeah.
What? And I'm not even a breast
desensitized.
man. Like,
I'm a breast
but
man.
you're a bojo man.
I'm
I know
a
you're
bojo
a
man.
bojo man.
Wow.
No, but the fact that I'm getting desensitized in a way lets me know that it's working. Because that's
That's what the reason.
that's essentially
wanna
what
keep
the goal
doing it till,
is,
like, you don't care
to
about them.
desensitize
Yeah,
the stigma. on
Why do you
nipples.
care so much?
And
Yeah.
nipples are not only it's not like it's the same for men where it's like we have no function for it. Like it's a breastfeeding
Yeah.
thing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's something completely non-sexual.
Yes.
So it's like if I'm becoming desensitized to it in an attraction sense, is that like would that be a problem for you?
What do you mean?
Like eventually if you
If
the
I'm no
nipples
longer
are like-
attracted to nipples,
Yeah.
would that be a problem for me?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be aware if that came to it. Like,
No, but I'm saying like
if I became
okay, if you
aware,
became
like,
desensitized
and I'm
to
like,
it,
I don't
would
care?
you be okay with it in the future with your girl?
oh, if I became this, if I no
Like
longer,
if so many girls just start doing it, where it's like it becomes a normal thing, are you then gonna be okay with it?
I still think I wouldn't. I'd be like, yeah, they're doing it, but you can be.
This guy's like, but
can be
you can't.
But
You cannot.
but you still gonna be you.
You still gonna be you. The you I
You
want.
live under my roof. Like what?
Holy shit, right? My God.
I'm just being honest.
That's some.
I'm just being
Hey,
honest.
he's being honest, man.
Listen, man.
Hey, everybody has what
That's
works
some
for them.
hotep
Listen,
shit.
You know what I see
I don't
right
like
now?
how everybody
You know what I'm
likes
picturing
people
right now?
confirmed.
What Samuel Jackson movie was it? Where he's the
Black
old,
Snake
the
Moan.
old dude and he's wearing the white beater. Do you remember that?
Black
Oh,
Snake Moan.
He's staring at the girl.
That's gonna be.
He has a white girl in chains. Doesn't let her leave the house.
That's
I
wild.
did see that.
Black
movie.
Snake Moan.
You
It's the
didn't see that movie?
funniest
No.
shit
I'm
ever.
gonna send you a photo of what he looks
Dog.
like. In
I
this
seen
movie.
the gif of him like standing in the front yard with like the gray hair.
Yes,
I was
he's
dying.
balding at the front. He's got all the hair.
Imagine like
that.
a trashed out white girl in chains, and Samuel Jackson like has her in chains like the whole movie.
Sounds like Game of Thrones with Samuel L. Jackson.
basically.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Black Snake Moan. It's
All right, next
pretty
question.
funny.
Thank you for that question. You just caused a problem.
Ryan's DM's gonna be ablaze.
Fuck.
Seriously.
You don't want
Yeah,
to see my nipples?
They've already slandered me.
You don't like my nipples? A girl's
Look at them!
Up to you in the street.
Look at them! Look at them!
Next question. Ellis the Menace. He says something simple. Who should get the bill on the first date?
You already answered that.
No, but I want to hear what they have to say.
Alright.
Also, if you notice a person you're seeing is never offering to pay, would it be rude to just tell them?
No.
So who should pay on the first date?
We should pay on the first date. Whoever asks.
Whoever asked to go on
Okay,
the date.
It's
Yeah.
the same that we're all on the same page.
I wasn't on that page.
When,
couple years
when you're
ago.
16. Oh, recent.
Yeah.
I thought you were in high school.
A couple years ago, I was like, "You paying just like I'm paying."
Like anything, or just like a thing you're interested in, or anything.
Like I mean, just any girl. Doesn't
Even if you're
matter.
interested in her, you still be
doesn't
like,
matter.
and then what
Like,
happened?
and then when I had a girlfriend, it was more so like,
Well, it's
you pay
balanced.
this
It's
time,
whatever,
I pay
yeah.
this time, or you pay
That's
for
different,
food,
yeah.
I pay for the tickets. Like, it's
Relationship
whatever.
is different. That's
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
But yeah, it used to be like, you going halves too.
So
like,
what changed?
is this?
What changed?
It's got older.
And then
Sure.
what did it mean to you?
Well,
Getting
I'm
older-
like, I'm asking you out. I'm kind of inconveniencing you.
Yeah, like,
Well, like
you're-
I
Or
said,
asking
you-
you to leave your house to spend money.
So you're saying you became
Yeah.
aware of that?
Yeah, I became
Okay.
aware of that. that fact that I'm asking people to come out of their house to spend money, to spend time with me.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
You don't have to do that.
Have to do that. So why am I not paying for it at least? You know what I mean?
Especially if I invited you out.
It's a courtesy.
It's like when someone, hey, you want a drink? Go get it yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, why'd you ask if I wanted a drink?
It's like when man's driving and say, let's go out. And it's like, oh, you paying gas though? It's like, I didn't have to go out. It's like, you asked me to go out.
Come out, bro.
You got gas money?
So wait, you guys are really not gonna pay?
I think the only issue with it is when it like this question only comes up because there are people that just straight up don't pay, right? Or ever offered to pay. Remember we talked about the
Or
reach?
people that disrespect the paying thing.
We talked about the reach.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said very early on, like sometimes I just need the reach. I just need
show me you're willing.
At least let me know that you're interested in paying.
I see that. Go through your purse and
Pretend like you're gonna pay.
Like you're looking for your wallet.
Because there's nothing worse than like going out with someone and it's just like
Just stares at you like this.
Like, what?
I look at that. I look at that.
You look back like
when a girl just walks into your booth and sits down, and it's just like, I'm a girl. I can do this. Like, especially when attractive girls. Attractive girls do a lot of things out of pocket all the time because they're attractive, and a lot of these square ass dudes just let them get away with anything. So they make me like. Especially like, okay, you trying to come, me and my boys are smoking a blunt, and then you just walk in, like, pass. Who are you?
It's like,
Who are I don't even know your name.
Maz know her? No.
I swear to God, I do that. You guys, that's your friend? That's the number one Toronto's, like,
That's your friend?
That's your friend? And Matt goes, no.
Who's
I
Matt?
don't know. Oh, well, this is awkward. Like, you know what I mean? But the other thing is, some people go overboard. Where it's like you go on a date, they order the fucking lobster and steak, and it's just like, you know what I mean? So what happens when you run into that problem?
Yeah,
When they abuse it?
they
abuse it. Like you get to the movies and you're like, don't worry, I got you, yeah. And she's like,
in that case,
trying to get combos and ting.
A hot dog, 2 juices.
Fortunately, I never met a girl like that.
Yeah, I've never
had
that issue,
abused
but,
it.
like,
That's wild.
The way, like, the mentality that I always like to think is like, if you're gonna go out, at least have money to cover you just in case some shit happens, right?
See, that's
but
a Caribbean
every
thing
time.
right there,
You gotta have enough money to cover yourself.
What they call it?
Rainy day or whatever. Rainy day fun or something.
You can't go out broke. You can't go out broke.
But you can. If you're
a woman.
If you're like...
I know many...
Yeah, not just women.
Mans that went out broke on dates?
Depends on where you're going.
Oh, yeah,
So, like, there's certain mans who are promoters, don't have a dime, can go out, pop bottles, same way. Go home.
The promoter
and
flex.
The promoter flex.
All right. Next question, Zemar.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Sophie 23 asks, "What are your views?"
There was 22 other Sophies.
Yeah, pretty much. What are your views on the slut walk that Amber Rose holds? Wow. Okay. Do you feel like she misrepresents feminism and is confused as to what it means, or do you think her words and actions when she speaks on it are valid? Keep in mind the things she has said on IG and on radio shows.
Well, there's no way we can keep track of everything.
Yeah, I'm not like listening to her sound bites.
So I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
I know the premise of what
I don't listen to an Amber Rose interview.
Before you guys go on, there was like a thread, like people responded to this. This one guy said, cool for thought. He said, "I think she's taking advantage of an important social issue like that to boost her own profile."
I think she's taking advantage of a social issue like that because she has nothing else.
You think
it's
so?
like that's the first thing that she did. Because remember, this is not the first thing she did. Period. She's done tons of stuff.
Yeah.
She had a little reality stint. She did. She had some other like mini business stuff that she tried. But this is the first one that garnered worldwide attention. That had her on the news, had her on talk shows talking about it. So she's like, okay, I found something that'll keep me relevant.
After Kanye, what happened?
Kanye said,
like,
Amber said that she's never going back.
Yeah.
And she's never going back because this is her next thing.
Yeah.
That's what he meant by that. And what he's saying, she's just
keeping it until that
keeping
next
herself relevant
thing comes up. And then Slut Walk is like, literally, it's just growing. So it's not like Amber Rose is going anywhere anytime soon. But
does she still have her show?
At the same token, after a couple years, you're gonna see her do something else, and it's gonna be even more outlandish.
What I don't know the full background, like
the premise
of what it is exactly. Like I understand feminism, but I don't understand what.
Well, it's that whole thing of like guys
slut
can
shaming.
be hoes and girls can't be hoes. Type
the
of
double
thing.
standard, right?
Yeah. So they're embracing slut and taking the power from it. The way she tried to explain it was like it was the word nigga, which was just
That
fucking
is
retarded.
That pissed me off.
way.
That didn't
I was
make
actually-
any sense.
I don't remember that. I
She's
didn't
like,
see
it's
that.
like how black people took the power out of the word. Like,
No,
what?
it's-
A white person still can say nigga and you still
Yeah.
get mad. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense. So I get it in the regard of like women should be able to be just as promiscuous as men.
Yeah.
However, my only problem with like the whole feminist thing is that these days feminism seems to mean that I want to be a dirtball like guys and not necessarily I want the same rights as guys. So it's like
Or maybe it's they want to be allowed to be a dirtball.
it's they want to be allowed to be a dirtball,
And
but
not
at the
be
same time
called-
they're doing dirt stuff in order to be allowed to do it, be a dirtball, not just advocating for dirtball
Well, like-
things and being able to have
Well,
that
just
freedom.
just by like by default, everyone should be technically a feminist, right? Man or woman, because you just want the you
Equal
you-
rights.
Yeah, equal rights, yeah.
right? Whether you're man or woman, you want the same thing. I do see what you're saying though, in terms of like how the message has been lost, right? Even if it's not this Amber Rose slut walk thing, it's like you just go online and you see how like the social justice warrior, keyboard warrior, feminists like acts. And this is like not just feminists, this is like other social movements too. It's like the message gets lost because you feel like they're trying to push an agenda that
Colin Kaepernick, his message got fucked up.
yeah.
Now we're talking about the fucking
It's all
the flag.
There's nothing to do with the flag.
They had it.
With my
Yeah.
my thing is like if you're gonna like advocate for these things, like women seem to be the better version of us like a couple years ago. Now it's like you can see like there's a lot more instances where you're like, wow, women can be trash
Yeah,
as
yeah,
hell.
yeah.
Well, did you see that video recently?
I was just about to bring that up where they're
The-
talking
Oh
about.
yeah, the girl with the on YouTube with the cheating
Yeah,
and the
so-
guy
so-
didn't
Oh,
cheat.
that was
So
wild.
for a bit of context for the
That
viewers
was
that
so
haven't
wild.
seen
That was
it,
fucked up.
I was so
hold on,
mad.
Hold on. So for some context, like basically it's a show where these two guys run in and they basically bring a couple on. Well, they bring the girl on and they set the guy up in this particular situation, right? To see
like
if
the
he's
back
gonna-
room in
That was a
Mario.
good black man.
Yeah, to see if he's
good
gonna,
black
to see if
man.
he's gonna cheat, right? And essentially, this dude, he's a like electrician or something like that. He's a plumber in this house doing work. Girl comes on to him. Then basically her sister comes on to him because they're twins, and
threesome.
offers threesome, offers everything in the world. And this dude is like curving them left, right, and center. And the guys who organize the whole thing
Even said
they-
I have a girlfriend.
Good use
yeah,
of
that
the
was
3 years.
century.
the guys that are organizing the whole thing,
And he said, "I shouldn't
when
be
he
doing
leaves, when he leaves, they're like, "Oh, see, like he's good. Like he didn't do anything." And
look
she's
concerned.
immediately upset. Like she's distraught. She gets
like,
up and leaves.
are you okay?
And they're like, "What?" And then they follow her. She comes back and says, I've been sleeping around with one of my coworkers, right?
Coworkers.
And you can tell one of the dudes, he was like, "Oh, you fucking idiot." Right? And then what made it worse, what killed me, was when she's like,
Are you gonna stop?
"I'm not gonna stop."
I'm gonna keep doing it.
She's like, I'm gonna keep doing
My
it.
thing is like you don't think your man's gonna see this?
He's gonna
video?
see it. Part of me felt like that bit might have been
Stage.
kind of safe. 'Cause I'm like, no one is that stupid. But
That's
then I
crazy.
remember that there are,
Say it on
then I
camera.
remember
There really are
there
people
really
like
are
that.
people
There
that
are
stupid.
people that stupid.
Yeah.
But
That was brazen. There's no other word to
There's tons of
use.
stuff you see online, like especially on Twitter. A girl will like scam a guy out of money, or like be like, "Oh, this nigga's just saved his food," or
And they'll
whatever.
support it.
And girls like, "Yes,
They'll support
sis,
it. That's when
clean that nigga
that's
out."
what confuses me.
And then
No, but
like
you know-
when guys are doing that,
Girls ride
it's
for these-
considered dirtball stuff and blah blah blah. And it's like, I get that you want to have the right to do that, but why do you want
the right to
do
do.
that?
you know what though? It's
I
like
feel like they feel
The
liberated.
sex
Like
thing, I
not-
get. There's
yeah.
some women who just like women naturally to me have a higher sex drive. They want to have sex way more than us. My argument is because they're not doing as much work as us in the bedroom, so
Wow.
it's not that hard for you to be like, yeah, I want to fuck, like, like,
Wow.
yeah, let's go 5 rounds, yeah, I'm gonna just lay here and then bounce on you,
Yeah.
and like that's it.
Bounce on you.
What literally? What do girls do other than
No.
lay there and bounce on you?
Not to mention, you have to deal with like a thing that has to like
We've
work.
been over this. There's
I
way
think
too many.
all
we
the time.
advocate
That
on our
is-
show for the equal
Sex
rights
equality.
in sex. That's where our equal rights.
oh
are.
my god.
Because
Explain,
we
explain.
are-
Go quick.
Okay, I'm propping myself up on
Half
my arms
planking.
for half an hour.
Oh,
Planking.
this is a
Tricep.
workout.
This is a workout.
Tell-
Not half an hour. I'm gonna say 15
Yeah, we're good.
minutes. 10,
Yeah.
15 minutes.
You're planking.
Okay. I gotta maintain a rhythm. Mm-hmm. I have to make sure my hands are in the right place.
Yep.
I have to make sure I'm saying the right things at the right time. I have to make sure that you continually stay wet. I have to make sure that I'm not hurting you and I have to make like there's
so much such a thought
It's
process.
literally rocket science, and I have to make you come multiple times
Without you coming.
without me coming.
I'm not
you
coming.
multiple times without you coming.
You are not
this
allowed.
Is crazy. And then it's
Remember how the
like
girls got at me?
Huh?
Remember how the girls got at me at the live show when I said this? I fully said everything you're saying, and I'm like, you guys don't understand. Sometimes it's kind of like solving a Rubik's cube in the dark, underwater.
with your hands tied. Yo, cause like
Do it with your teeth.
dog, girls, you know what girls will say when you say, "Oh, blah blah," you guys do no work. You're just messing with the wrong one. What can you possibly be doing that's different? Please enlighten me. Are you gyrating differently on the penis? Like it doesn't make any sense. You ride. At the most, you throw it back, which most of you guys run.
Can't do it properly.
You guys do not throw it back. And you arch your back. Whoa, such strenuous activity. Like, what do you...
Okay, let's get back to
All we have to do to come is friction. That's it.
That's it.
We don't have 30,000 nerve endings. We don't have to know where they are.
Nope.
Like,
As long as I feel something.
we don't have to find a walnut inside you. Like, there's nothing of that nature. So it's like, why is there so much pressure on us? Why do we get so much shit talked to us about sex when y'all don't do shit?
It's because there's a lot of guys who talk a big game. We talked about this. Remember when Ebony was on there? Does it?
But even
then-
then, if he
then-
fails,
but then
you
the-
should be like, you
No.
know what? You tried your best.
No, but this is the
No,
problem.
straight to
though.
the group chat.
No, but this is the problem though.
Straight
A lot
to
of
the
it-
group chat.
A lot
Just
of the
drop
times
him
that
in there.
conversation is never happening though, because we had
Yeah.
a guest on who basically said she outed this dude, and basically was saying how like this guy was talking a big game, all this type of stuff, and then when
Never
she got there,
talking.
she said the penis was like this big,
See?
legit, right?
That's what you do.
And then this is where the problem
They
is.
have
right?
sex though.
Here, yes, but here's the thing. This is where I
said
got
she
mad at
didn't
her.
feel it.
This is where I got mad at her.
That's impossible.
She said, when I said, did you say anything to him? Like, did you check him? Because he was talking a big game. She's like, no, I feel like that's for the next girl to say.
And every girl.
Bystander
The girl's gonna
apathy.
push him out to that, so he feels
Bystander
nice.
apathy.
But the thing
what
is,
that's-
like, I think like what people like don't understand is the difference between how men take, like, how we take sex as opposed to like women. Like, if a girl told you like, yo, it wasn't that good, how are you gonna take it?
I'm gonna say why. What
You'd be
about
like,
wasn't good?
right?
And then so I know because I've had girls who are very vocal, and
Yeah.
open, like even to the point of during sex would be like, do this or
Yeah,
do this.
and I'm totally fine. But the thing
I like
is,
that
with
shit.
women, I've been told some, right? Like I know, like there's some you have to navigate that conversation
yeah.
a lot differently because it can destroy,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
how things move forward, right?
Definitely. And like, yeah, and you can't be a guy that's like, if a girl's giving you constructive criticism,
Be a dick about
be a
it.
dick about it or
Yeah.
get hurt and butt hurt about it. And like, because then girls just, that's what girls are going to do. They're not going to want to have that conversation with guys. The next guy that does something whack, she's not going to say a word because she's like, I don't even want to have to put up with this if he gets butt hurt too. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's so many women that fake orgasms and do all these things and
try
think
and-
they're doing us a
To
favor.
boost your, I think you're boosting your confidence.
You're not
but
doing anybody
he's,
a favor.
He's just gonna fuck up the next person.
Exactly.
Like, he's not learning.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And if you saw something in this person enough to have sex with them, you'd think you'd want to improve them so you can continue having
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
with them.
Yeah,
No, let me just.
Nobody wants to work on it. And that's the other thing. Girls like have sex, if they have sex with a guy once and it doesn't work out the way they thought it was, that's
They're
it.
off it.
Who's
It's
ever
an
had the
automatic
best
write-off.
sex they've ever had with someone the first time?
Never.
Very rare.
Does it
Third
all go
time.
downhill after? That's not crack.
Fifth time.
Like, what? It's not cocaine where it's like you're searching for that first hit. Like it's
It progresses.
you
yeah.
learn each other's
Yeah.
bodies. So it's like if I don't get it this time, who say I'm not gonna get it the next 3-4 times? Like,
Fifth time's probably gonna be blessed.
bless up.
Fifth time.
Bless up. What? Especially in succession.
Yo.
Oh man, come on.
we got very far away from the feminist talk, but hey,
We're talking
Oh
about
yeah.
feminism?
Slow walk. Yeah.
it is what it is. Next question. This is a problematic one.
My favorite.
Pastel Posture. She says, if a girl is getting beat up outside a club by a man and you're a bystander, will you ignore the situation because it's not your place, or will you step in, calm down the situation, and stop the fight?
Even a relationship question.
This is really not. But like,
I've been in those situations and like we just literally. Can I incriminate myself? Beat him up? I don't
okay.
know. Like we
Yeah.
fight the guy. Like It's
I
not
think it's
really
a-
a
I think
question.
it's a
It's
natural-
either fight or break it up.
Yeah, I think
It's a natural thing.
I think it's a
When you step
natural
in,
thing
yeah.
as a guy. Like if you see another guy doing that, you're like, nah.
Like half a second.
Yeah, like man's like
Beating
There's
up
no
a-
evaluating the
I was,
situation.
yeah, it's
right?
man's like, yo, what
It's
what are you doing? Like,
there's no. I don't care if you're her brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like unless you're her dad and it's visible, like this is your
Yeah,
father.
And
Then
that-
I'm done.
yeah.
Then I'm backing the fuck.
Well, that's not.
That's
He's not beating you up. He's just boxing you.
beating.
He's beating you.
Beating. You getting you beating.
I'm not going between that. No,
But if it's like your brother or your cousin or your boyfriend, I'm not hesitating at that
Yeah.
point.
I
You
also
gotta be a
think
weirdo to stand by. And not
yeah,
do
I also think it's a natural response that every guy jumps in after. Like,
Yeah.
like I think all of us,
Random
random
people-
guys will come together
Because it's like an excuse to
yeah,
fight.
yeah.
It's just like,
number one.
I've been looking
Yeah.
to crunch someone, and now you've given me
No, for a proper reason.
now you've given me
Yeah.
a proper reason to do it. Like if the cops come and be like, he was fucking her, up,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah, any man that hits a
Free
girl
to
in front,
go.
if guys are around, he's getting smashed.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
Weird.
easily.
Yeah.
Pretty
So you're
much.
safe, ladies. If a man tries to touch you.
Unless he's like huge, I might
Well,
yell.
this is where I was gonna go.
hey, cut that out. You two break it up.
You too.
Is this guy a juice monkey? Cause I'm not trying to die.
I'll ask him if he wants to smoke or like. Yo,
Just
you
trying to
wanna
take his
get a
mind
drink?
off it? Yo,
yeah,
yo.
like yo, fam, you
Yo.
see the Lakers? Yo, Lonzo's inside. Like, say something weird.
The
Like,
man's big. You guys are approaching him like a fucking.
come on, let's be real.
You're trying to make him docile. Like, it's
Like,
like
yo, chill.
it's okay.
down, boy, down.
You're just holding a blunt and you're like waving at his face.
Come here, boy. Come here, boy.
Nah, I'm trying to die.
ain't
Because
trying
what
to
happens with those
die.
times? A lot of police officers, one of the most dangerous calls they get are domestic violence because
Those guys.
they
are
go into the
awesome
situation,
that
they
shit.
try and break it up. The situation turns around on them. The couple starts fighting the cop now.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know.
That definitely
But yeah, I
happens.
mean,
A lot of girls that get beat up by their men, if a guy's jumping in, they'll beat up the guy that's helping, the guys that are helping, because it's part of it is A, that's my man or whatever,
Yeah.
and B, if I don't help you, what do you think's gonna happen to me later?
Yeah.
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 Like, so yeah, compromising situation for
that's
sure.
a crazy question. Imagine
Imagine going.
Man just
yeah,
texting.
yeah. Imagine like going on with your business, just like
Well.
Making a snap. Hey, we out here.
Yes.
they throwing hands.
They throw heads out here. World star.
We see it on World
That's
Star.
crazy,
What was it
man.
say?
That'd be so foul.
All right. Next question. This one. A lot of people be asking about like men and talking about their feelings and shit. Food
Feelings.
for thought. This isn't about relationships, but it's an interesting one. What's your take on the caliber of female rappers in today's mainstream market in terms of image? And does the idolization of stripper culture in today's mainstream landscape reflect that image?
No, because there's lots of female rappers that don't
That-
dress
yeah.
like.
I think the only reason he asked that question is because of Cardi.
Cardi B.
And she's
Literally.
the most popular.
That's a
There's
direct Cardi
There's
B
a bunch
question.
of strippers that
Yeah.
are becoming rappers now, and that's all fine or whatever. But I don't think that's influencing the decisions of girls. I
Yeah.
don't think that's changing anything. And to be honest, the more lyrical and well versed rappers are the ones that are looking more conservative these days. Like
Rhapsody
Lil
for
Sims,
one.
Rhapsody, Lady Leisha, like. there's-
Missy Elliott's still out here.
Missy Elliott's still out here. You got tons of female rappers that aren't necessarily doing that, and
Yeah.
like the image. Yeah, I don't think there's you can say that there's an image.
What do you think of the landscape? Like, what do you think of like?
It's definitely not where it needs to be. Like,
Think so?
You get the second female
No,
artist
for a
ever,
while.
ever
Yeah,
in
it's-
music to hit a #1 for rap. Like we've had Lil Kim, we've had Fox, we've had Eve, we've had Vita, Charlie Baltimore.
They shit on so many female rappers, and then when Nicki came, it's like they're like, "Oh, okay, like we know this one
We
now.
fuck with
Like
Nicki,
we
yeah,
know
yeah.
Nicki,
Look
so
at how
let's put her on a
annoying and
platform."
visible Nicki is, and she couldn't get #1. That's a problem.
Yeah. And she had to be out there. Like
Remember
she
for
doing
Got
whatever
a
she could.
fake ass.
Yeah.
She bleached. She went rah rah rah, and she
just to say, look at me, look at me. Just-
And still,
they're like, oh, huh.
Super Bass was like arguably almost as viral as Black Beatles. Still
Nothing. Yeah.
nothing. So it's like
I overheard someone made a post regarding how guys don't sing women verses or something like that. Do you guys have no problem singing girls verses?
no.
right?
Dog, when
I sing the
when
verse.
Bodak Yellow comes on, I'm belting out those.
Like there's
lyrics.
some,
Like,
there are some actually
I'm
are.
not belting it out because I don't feel it as much
Really?
as
I feel the
women.
chorus.
Because I feel I'm like I don't.
I think the chorus
for some
is
reason in
dope.
my head I'm still thinking
That they're talking to you.
this is for women.
Yeah,
it's not. No, not even that. It's just that this is for women. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I hear Bodak Yellow, I think of like female empowerment. Like this is.
I can
for a
still- you can
woman
still
to
rap,
turn
so you
up
can still
and,
rap
like,
it.
Well, she
go
said
off.
that though. Like she fully said like she the purpose of that song. She's like, I don't care if you're like broke as shit or you're
Or
rich
you're
as
rich
fuck.
as hell.
Yeah.
I want you to feel like you're in this place
Yeah.
right now, right?
Yeah.
I just think the chorus bangs. So like whenever
I just
hear
like the
it, I'm
I like the
oh.
flow. I like
Yeah.
some of the.
You know how many
lyrics.
Lil Kim verses I know?
Yo, I was talking about somebody
Very
about
Lil
this the other
Kim
day. I was like,
versus
I'm
Remy
so
Ma.
mad
Remy
I
Ma.
cannot
Remy
sing
Ma.
how many licks in public. Like how many
Big
licks
track.
is lit. She went in on that track. I can't
Cisco?
sing that shit out in public.
Cisco snapped.
Cisco.
This guy snapped on that shit.
Dope. I still do one more.
My neck, my back comes on. I'm there. I'm there. Trust me.
For a while, they were only giving Nicki the platform while other female artists were bubbling. Like they
It was
were
all about
only,
Nicki. It was all about Nicki,
it was
yeah.
like only shit you're hearing about was Nicki. Like
Yeah.
she's getting all
Part
the
of that is
awards.
the industry for sure.
That's what I mean. The
Labels,
industry was
They push it, they want to
specifically
push. Yeah.
Atlantic tried to pay Lady Leisha. Well, wanted to sign Lady Leisha, but was like told her if she's gonna sign, she has to take out Nicki.
Like, go for her head.
Like they literally said,
Oh, she has to beef
you
her.
have to beef with Nicki.
Oh, cause a problem.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and so
She
it's
said
like
no.
who
yeah,
tried to
she said
sign
no.
Atlantic?
And so it's like. There's a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't see that are
Orchestrated,
orchestrated too,
yeah.
and orchestrated. And I honestly think that streaming is the answer to all of this, because like that's why a record like Cardi B's can go number one, because it's by the people.
Yeah,
now.
nothing to do with you.
You
You have no
guys
control.
can only
They just need to
push
get paid for
certain
it, though.
people into our faces. In
I.e.
certain platforms.
can't stop
Taylor
them from
But you
downloading.
can't stop
Yeah.
people from listening. And
They just
downloading.
need my only issue with streaming is just like artists need to get properly paid for it though.
I think they're getting properly.
They still
paid for
haven't figured it out.
There was some artists who had
Uzi
something.
Vert got $1 billion.
Is a billion
Some shit
like
plays
streaming plays
on that
but
one
he only
track.
got paid like 400,000.
That's fine with me.
That's not fine with me because when you know how much like they should be paying
For the
basically-
average person, the
basically-
payout is fine, but
basically what they're saying is like for every play that you get, it's not even like
Yeah, you have to
0.005
have like
cents.
3 or 4 streams or something like that
Yeah.
for it to be a full like dollar, whatever. I can't remember what the amount.
You need to have
was
at
exactly.
least like 500 for it to be $1.
No, I don't think it's that high.
here's the thing
Yeah,
with
well,
streaming.
if he got $1 billion, but he only got paid 400,000, and to
I'm
be
not
on
doing
top of that, his
have to
deal's
pay out other people.
his deal's fucked up, right? So when that 400,000
Trickles down.
They signed to a nigga that signed
yeah,
to
to another nigga that signed to another nigga that
nigga.
goes
That's
ding,
crazy.
ding, ding,
But I
ding,
feel
ding.
like that's fine. Like I honestly feel like musicians have been being paid too much anyways. Like I don't see a problem with you getting paid $400,000 to sing and rap. I don't see a
when
problem.
you
with
like
that.
like when
Me
you
personally,
when you
How
put
about
it like
anybody
when you
else?
put it at that level is like yeah, but then you can do that for you can literally do that for any medium, right? Even if it's sports, you can do the same thing for sports. Like these dudes get paid millions of dollars to play a game, but then
sports I think is a little different though because
You're
of the
exerting physical energy.
you're sacrificing
you're hurting
your
yourself.
body.
You can
Like a lot of these guys,
yeah.
football players, life expectancy is like
You can rap in the
53.
booth and sit down.
they're
Like,
done.
like
So it's like
Yeah, rap-
you're actually exerting.
you can't compare rap to sports. It's
Yeah,
not-
you can't.
the
rapping
reason
and
I argue,
singing, it's like-
reason I argue this right now is because like people who don't like look I've never entertained on the level that like the highest caliber people
You're
have,
going on
right?
tour and
so,
shit.
So here's the thing. Remember when Justin Bieber, he just canceled his tour?
Yeah.
Like halfway through, he's like, I literally cannot do this. And one, you got to remember how old he is, and two, how long he's been doing this for, right? People don't realize like how fucking taxing like this shit
You know,
really is. I know they signed up for it. I know they did, but at the same
not
time,
only just that, it's like the fact that you decide how much dates you want to do.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody's saying. There's no way someone's telling Justin Bieber.
Yeah, and
you
then-
got to do 100 dates.
and then this is my thing though. When people get
Well,
mad
not
at
now.
him, no, but when people got mad at him for saying, "Look, I'm stopping the tour. Like I'm stopping the tour for X, Y, and Z reason." People look at him and they're like, "You just go on tour and sing. you just rap. Like, it's easy to just minimalize it like that, but it's a lot of work. Like, it really is a lot of work for someone that's at the high level.
Traveling is a lot of work.
Traveling
and that strain on your
getting
voice,
sick, like getting sick
cords.
constantly,
choreography,
performing
food is shitty
when
in
you
some
perform
places.
shitty, like it brings.
You gotta do
everything else
interviews
down.
too as
Like,
well.
See, that's the thing. It's like we live in this age where it's like these guys feel they need to go on 70 dates because they're not making the money that old rappers used to make. Everyone's putting themselves. We're not in the 90s
They're
anymore.
overexerting
You're
themselves,
not
yeah.
making that type of money anymore just off selling records.
Yeah.
You have to
Be
tour.
okay with that.
You have to tour.
Everybody wants to stunt and buy this and that, and so like, yo, let's do 50 dates. I gotta get 50 dates done. If I get 50 dates done, I can buy the Wraith. I can get this house. I can do that.
But the
and
same,
it's like,
but at the same time, I don't think for all like a lot of the people, it's like that.
I think majority of them.
Like, for example, I think for someone like Kendrick, for example, right, the amount he tours is not because he wants to stunt.
How much does Kendrick tour? Kendrick's tour, it seemed like it was like 3 months long. It wasn't that long.
He's
And when
he's
he
just
put
going.
up
He's
against
going to.
other people?
He's
going
going
to Europe
He's
now
going
with
to Europe
James
now.
Blake.
Yeah.
Like
Took
so,
a couple-
like he's been touring. He's been touring for over a year,
But
right? Which is a long
Kendrick
time.
is also a young artist. Like, he seems like he's been here for a
Kendrick
while, but
is
he's
32
still,
or like
he's still
31.
a young artist in terms of how long he's been in our
Like relevance.
sights.
It's relevance,
2012, 2011 was when Section 80 came out. I think.
Yeah.
That was like 6 years ago. Drake's been in the game 10 years now.
But with
And
Drake,
like, he's still going strong. It's like, I get when you're on the rise.
Yeah.
He's
There's
canceled
certain
dates.
sacrifices you have to make. You have to do a bunch of festivals. You have to do a bunch of touring.
yeah.
But when you get to a level, like, Jay-Z tours when he wants to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you don't even have to be at Jay-Z level to do that. You can, if you're putting out proper content
Yeah.
and people want to see you, especially in this age where it's like people have diehard fans that go to every show, some of them. It's like, you don't need to put a show this 6 days out of the 7 days of the week. You're choosing to do that.
Yeah.
Don't complain about it. It literally is not up to us. We are not saying you have to perform here at this date. You guys are choosing that.
I get that, but that's not my argument. My argument is when people get mad at these people for saying I'm just not gonna perform.
I could get mad though. That's what I'm saying. I could get mad. You chose to put that schedule in.
No, but that's why I think it's ridiculous because then people they seem to think that
It's easy.
these people aren't people. Like it isn't easy.
Yeah, they're not a
Right?
real
Like,
person.
Kanye pretty much he literally had he went crazy because of his tour, right? He had a mental breakdown. Like, and it's happened to so many artists. He's not the first, but it's happened to so many people from
Cudi, all those
multiple reasons, right? Like, the industry, if you let it, will fuck you up, right? Which is why the artists that you named, like people like Jay-Z and all these guys, they can get through it without it being a problem. But I don't know, like, I do hear what you're saying, like, when they sing or they rap, like, they're getting paid a lot of money. But when I know how much, like, the big wigs are getting paid off these guys, and then they're not getting paid what they should be, that's where I draw an issue. Because that's just a legal issue to me. Because I'm like, and you've heard it, why are you signing these 360 deals, right? Like, why are you signing all these types
And
of
the
deals?
record labels making all the money.
But when I know when Spotify is, like, putting out these numbers, right? Like, so-and-so put out, like, a billion, they put out a billion plays. Spotify is getting paid. Like, they're getting paid a lot of money.
But it's advertising, isn't
We're
it?
talking
It's not just
billion.
advertising. So that
Like,
money,
that's what I also want to know is, like, where, like, for streaming, when it comes to that, how do you say, okay, this is where, like, where's the money coming from? Is it just, like, everyone that has Spotify who's paying whatever a month?
So
There's
there's
premium,
There's
because it's tiered, right?
yeah, there's
So they
premium.
make money through the premium subscriptions, and they make money through advertising and shit like that.
So it's
So they have
advertising
most of the
companies put money into Spotify and
To
say,
be
like,
able to advertise
and
on
that
Spotify.
money
So
gets
in
distributed.
that sense, then doesn't Spotify deserve that money? The artists aren't going out there and acquiring
No,
these
because
advertisements.
Spotify doesn't. I'm not saying they don't deserve money, but like Spotify
doesn't
I'm trying to
exist.
see,
There's
I'm
no
trying
content.
to see
Exist.
why there's a discrepancy
Spotify,
between the artists.
Spotify doesn't exist
label
if
and
there's no
whatever.
artist.
there's no
right?
artist.
But the problem is the discrepancy. Like, you can't tell me that, like, if Uzi puts out a song on your platform and it gets a billion, like
100 million, like a billion.
billion plays, he only gets 400,000.
It's not his fault, though.
When you know it's not his fault because that's the way Spotify is set up, and that's the way a lot of these.
But it's also because of the deals that he signed along the way.
No,
Because he signed to multiple.
No. It'd be
that deal has nothing to do with
that money.
That's like a Spotify.
That money that he got, that he received, it would be like that for any artist, right?
Oh, okay.
The way it's.
That's a breakdown.
The breakdown is like that across the board. The where he is at fault is the deal he signed with his record labels, because it's in his contract. It was like your streaming revenue, we get 50%. So it's like that 400 is automatically 200. Like that's a legal issue. But like what I'm saying is just a massive discrepancy. That's why I think it's kind of fucked up. Like if you know you put out a video and it gets, let's say a video you put out on YouTube got 1 billion views on YouTube. Right?
Has that ever happened yet?
And then some
billion?
some music
Desperate-
videos.
yeah,
some music
Despacito.
videos.
Hit a bill?
Yeah.
But then,
Okay, but then
The
I
most
can
played
say
YouTube
that,
video ever, and I hate that song.
I never
But then
listened
you
to
don't
it.
get. But then of those 1 billion views, you only get paid 200,000. Right?
It's a
Okay,
rip
but
off.
watch this. Okay, so you work at just a normal corporate job. That corporate building's making upwards of 10 million a month or whatever. You're only getting your salary. It's not fair, but it's kind of what you signed up for in a sense. You signed for that deal. You know what I mean?
The reason it's different is because like
That's different.
You're working in an office where you're a cog in the system. Like you're basically just you're not your direct work isn't. How do I explain this? Like your music that you're making is yours. When I work in an office, like
It's
the
theirs.
work I'm working on is theirs.
But
Like
if you're putting it on someone else's platform, it's now their content.
it's still
Their
your
funnel.
It's
It's
still
your content, but
it's still
they're-
your
they're
content.
distributing.
They're distributing
They're
it.
distributing.
Exactly. So as a
Yeah.
distributor,
It's still your
It's the
content, which
fee,
is
yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is
You're
what
not
this is
getting-
what I'm
you're not
saying,
getting
because
out the-
if-
you're
if
not
it's
getting out
so
there without
bad,
me.
If it's so bad, my thing is, if artists all have recognized it's this bad out here, it's not a
Just
secret to
boycott
anybody.
it. Just boycott it.
Make
Yeah.
your own.
But
as
see-
an
no, but
artist.
see-
but
Come
see,
together
this
and-
is
and
why-
make your
It's
own,
just
but
hard.
yes, all gets paid
But
out.
it's the same thing Kanye's talking about.
But
He's
there's
like,
a reason why they don't do that.
no. They
No,
did
Taylor
do-
Swift
no,
did speak out about
no,
Spotify
two
payouts.
things. They did do this, and but
Last
it was
thing
the
on
way.
this topic,
But,
last thing.
yeah, but it was the way it was done, right? So first of all, Taylor, her whole situation when she. Was that Apple Music she got
Apple
at
Music
and
or
was
something,
signed
yeah.
with Spotify? It's because she had low-key had like a crazy deal with Spotify, which is why she made a big deal of it, right? But that's what Tidal did. Like Tidal basically
Tidal's
made
the
this,
best one
but
for it, for
but the reason Tidal had a bad start is because of the way it was marketed. It was a bunch of like high caliber rich artists who were like,
Use this.
we basically need more money than what we should be. Like we're not getting the money we should be getting. If they marketed like some of the lower tier artists and like this is who we're doing it for, then it would have been better. But when you have guys like Jay-Z, like Madonna, all these high profile
Fucking
people saying,
Deadmau5.
imagine like rich people saying to you, I should be getting paid more money than what I'm getting now.
Yeah.
That's basically what the
But
message was.
it's not only
Off
that,
of
but
you.
Tidal was the streaming service itself was more expensive than most.
Oh, but that's the other thing though. It's not.
It was when it first came out.
For
When
like
it first
2
came
months.
out, yeah.
For 2 months.
But
Now
that's
it's the
what I'm saying.
exact
You
same
said,
price.
it started out.
But
I'm
it was more expensive by like $5.
But see, this is the thing. When people see this, you're seeing on the timeline for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like Tidal's just going to keep, Tidal prices are just going to keep popping up on the timeline
Yeah.
throughout the year. So if it comes out right away and it's like $25, and it's like I paid $10 on mine.
Yeah.
I'm not checking for Tidal no more.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just like when someone gets accused of rape, but they haven't been like found guilty for it. No one's ever gonna be like, "Oh, you're not a rapist anymore." If you saw it on the timeline and someone
It's already
rape was attached,
it
to
already
that name,
ruined your name.
You
Yeah.
ruined
Yeah.
your name.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's like
True or not,
look
doesn't
at
matter.
Kobe. Niggas still bring up Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe got
It's
acquitted.
like I've been done with this.
OJ murdered, acquitted. Doesn't matter. Like once people see that first impression against.
Well, that's why I said it was
the way it started for sure.
It was all marketed bad, right? But anyway,
And there's your music education.
terrible music, terrible. Last question. This one can't say the name because it's another weird one. But what was the last thing you learned in your relationship? Like, what was the most important thing you learned from your last relationship?
That's a good
I'll answer this very quickly.
Go ahead, you go. Wait, when was that? How
My
was
last
that with that?
relationship, I don't know, like 3 summers ago. I don't remember. But what
Revelation.
that I
No, when was the
When?
revelation? Was it
When I was still in it. No, I was still in it.
Okay.
That I probably shouldn't be in a relationship for a long time.
That's what you learned?
That was my learn. Yeah.
True.
I just can't. I'm not. I'm gonna sound like a dick. I'm not
Nobody's judging.
emotionally
Invested.
invested enough in anyone else's issues and problems at this point in my life to be in a meaningful
So
relationship.
If, like, somebody finds a problem with something, you're like, that's not that big of a
I
deal.
do not care. So I can't be in a relationship if
And is that just right now, or have you always been like that?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I've always been like that. It's weird. I don't know. Relationships with me is difficult to invest. Like, do I really care about what you did that day? Like,
Do you think it's because
You don't want to go through the motions. Type
Yeah,
of
I
thing.
don't.
So it's like,
I'm just not about it.
do you think that's because you haven't met someone that you actually liked that much?
No. There's other factors. Like, when you have a kid young, like things become
Less important.
a lot of shit just
It's like,
doesn't.
you're not my kid, so like,
Literally,
literally,
literally.
it's you or my kid.
Yeah, you're not my child. I really don't care
Oh, you
about
want to
your
do this?
feelings.
My kid needs food.
Yeah, I don't care. So it's
yeah,
like
I can, yeah.
Yeah,
your mind totally
changes
switches.
the
Like I
perspective
just
of
do
importance.
not care about a
agree.
lot of
More
things.
important things right now for me to be worried
Yeah.
about. For sure.
That's it.
A
So
kid
it's like
does that.
in my last relationship, that made the point for me. It's like I really, because like I just didn't care.
I just want to play my kid.
I
Like,
just didn't care.
yeah.
That was it.
So your revelation from your last relationship was that you are not ready or prepared or willing at this point
Yeah.
to invest
Emotionally in other people's shit.
to give your care to somebody else right now.
Yep. Can't
and
do it.
And that's not fair to them, obviously. So why would you
Not
bother?
fair at all. So why would I even bother?
Okay.
My thing was probably that I police people too much. Like, that's my biggest issue. It's like,
When was your
I don't
last
like
relationship?
people-
This guy's the opposite.
I don't like people.
Yeah, he just he just swiftly
I don't like people.
just stiff on that question.
Especially people that I care about. I don't like people that I care about
Give him the mic.
doing dumb shit, like, or saying something stupid. So if like, I have a problem where if like someone says something stupid or does something stupid, I feel the need to chime in, and I do that a lot. And, like,
With a girlfriend or with anyone?
with anyone.
Okay.
But like, I realize even more so, I shouldn't do it in a relationship necessarily, because it's like I'll bring down the mood or whatever the case may be.
You're with them the most.
Because I'm with them the most.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if
They're
I'm
always
constantly
hearing it.
policing
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
then you're going to be walking on eggshells all the time and won't be yourself, or like you will be afraid to tell me things or whatever the case may be. So it's like, yeah, I think that was like my biggest problem. It still is a problem for me. It's like somebody does something that I have a question in my mind about. I'm going to ask the question like right away.
So
Or, like,
what did you learn? You're learning to not do
I'm
that?
learning to just like
Let people
chill
rock.
out, like just let people rock. Yeah,
Let
like
people
fuck,
rock.
man. Like I don't need to be.
Like, you're not God. I'm not God.
I'm not the ruler of
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna change people just because I'm asking. them
Marlon's
whatever.
way. Or like
yeah,
yeah.
like you just let things be, and it's difficult because like my mom is the one that made me this way type
yeah.
of things, because I don't know, Jamaican parents,
Yeah.
Caribbean parents,
It's just the way they're doing it.
Micro-
Yeah.
very
Management to the
policing of
max.
everything. Anything that goes on that's stupid, your mom's gonna bring it up right away.
Or
Like,
you clean something, they clean it after you.
yeah,
Like,
and then at the same time, I do it in a condescending way. I don't do it in a way where it's like
helpful.
helpful. I
Not
say it in a way
constructive.
where it's like, are you dumb?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
are you stupid? Like,
Yeah.
why would you do this? So it's like learning my delivery is is something I need to work on, and sometimes I don't need to deliver at all. Like, is another thing I need to work on as well.
What about you, Ryan? What you learn?
From my last relationship,
Get comfortable, people.
what did I learn? I learned a lot.
Spanish, Portuguese.
What's the one
You
thing?
guys,
What's the one thing, Ryan? We could be here all day.
Portuguese?
God.
We could have a conversation about Portuguese.
You guys
girls
are
if we
wild.
want.
yeah, I was with a Portuguese girl. That has nothing to do with it though. My last
From the island or the mainland?
from. I'm not gonna get to that. To answer the question, one thing I learned from my last relationship was the difference of how I act when I'm naturally into something or when I'm doing something because I may feel that it's the right thing.
That you need to do it.
And I don't think you can acknowledge that until you've had both. So I think now that I've had both, I know when I'm like, this is me when I'm me, and this is how I am when I was in that, right? But I don't think when I'm in it, I couldn't tell because I'm in it.
Yeah.
But now
Love
that
is
I'm
blind.
well, I wasn't in love. But
So doing things like what, for example?
for example, I would say things like, I'm not a big kisser. Something like that, for example. I would say, I'm not a big kisser.
Yeah.
That wasn't true.
It's hotep ass nigga.
Like,
So then why were you saying it?
because I wasn't.
She didn't know how to kiss you the way
No,
you
I didn't feel the same as she felt.
Okay.
So it's like,
So it was a
so I start to
deterrent.
tell myself, I start to believe I didn't do certain things. Or I start to believe I'm not like this because I wasn't doing certain things that I would naturally do. So to give you an example, if there's a girl that I'm with and I'm all over her, a previous girlfriend, I'm all over her, always kissing her, always touching her, always want to have sex, always want to, always, let's go here, I always want to do things.
Yeah.
Then I'm with another person and I'm not kissing her, and she's like, why aren't you kissing me? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't
And
you doing
then you
this?
have to make up
and
a
I'm
lie.
like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just cause this, or
I'm not
I'm
this, yeah,
tired, or
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm doing the podcast, or it's like I was making reasons
Yeah.
for why I'm not doing things, but denying the fact that I
Lying
don't.
to yourself
Yeah.
and to the person.
But
in
when
a
I'm
way.
when I'm in it, I'm like, what's the problem? What's the problem? You know?
Yeah.
When I came out of it, I'm like, whoa, like
Why was I even doing
I would
that?
like I wasn't myself.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't myself.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing I learned from is that like the last thing you want to do is be in something and you know when you're doing something naturally.
I think you have
Like-
to have when you're in a relationship. I think it's got to be like 10 to 20% of you that does things because your partner wants it done, and like the rest,
Like selflessly.
80%.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the 20%.
80%, 85%
Has to
should
be
be completely
intrinsic.
you.
True intrinsic, yeah.
If you can find that
Balance, yeah.
balance,
Yeah.
I think that's where it's the best. If it's 50-50,
You're in trouble.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fucked for sure. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So I think
Another life-changing episode.
Yo, because
so we're just gonna go to some more. That's what I learned.
listen, like what
Be
you
myself.
what you just said, the 80-20, right? Like the thing that I learned is I'm to this day still having a hard, like I can't. There are times where you just literally realize like I'm not myself at this point, right?
Yep.
And the biggest issue for me, straight up, is because of fucking social media, right? Like
Okay.
it really is. Like that has literally been
In what sense, though?
okay.
You
So
ever look in the mirror and be like, who is this guy?
cause,
Look at you. What have you become?
it's been the cause of my
This isn't you.
both issues, right? Like I would say the majority of my relationship, social media has always been some issue at some point, right? And for me, like I know this may sound fucked up to a lot of people that are hearing this, but I genuinely, like I straight up just in my head think that if I'm scrolling through Instagram and I like photos like of women or whatever the fuck it is, if I like a photo, it does not equate to, you know, this thought that you must like this girl.
No,
Or like,
you're not alone.
You are not alone,
but
sir.
here's the thing though, right? Unfortunately, like this is actually a perception that people have, right? Like a lot of women and a lot of men also who believe this, that like this is an impression that you give off. If you like a bunch of photos of a woman, like whether she's half naked or not, like it sends the impression that you must have some sort of motive, right?
That's telltale to me, though.
And it is. I know it is telltale. And the thing that bothers me is that it's like, I will make it very clear that like this is not my intention or the impression I'm trying to give. And the problem would be is like, all right, I understand that, but this is the impression you give to other people.
Let's do a quick consensus, real quick.
See,
Have
right
have
where
any
you
of
just
you-
said there.
Yeah, but
Right where you just said.
Have any of you guys? I'm sure the answer is yes. Have any of you guys been on social media right now? Go with your point. Have you guys been with a girl or been a girl you're talking to, been on social media, and before you like something, say, if I do this, this will lead to a fight, or this will lead to something, and then consciously not done something or not liked
I've
it
done that.
to avoid
You've never
something.
done it, right?
Maybe
I've
you've never done
it
it
because
Have
of
you?
the fact that like my thing
That
is
would be
always
admitting.
my thing is always logic. It always comes back to logic.
But you've never consciously thought I
Never.
shouldn't do this?
Never. Never. Because my thing is always logic. It's like, at the end of the day, what are you going to come to me and say? And if it's over something childish, like likes, and you want to, like, make that a big deal, like, you're free to go, honestly.
Yeah.
And I understand feelings, and, like, I'm not going to act like if your girl was on Twitter and some guy's talking about how to properly dick down a girl, she's liking and retweeting.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend like I wouldn't feel a certain way.
Yeah.
But then you got to check yourself and ask yourself, why do I feel a
Has
certain
nothing to
way?
do with you.
It
Yeah.
has it doesn't mean she's fucking him. It just means she's agreeing with
man.
whatever.
Like, this triggers
Yeah,
me.
continue, go ahead.
This triggers me so much because, like, for me, the issue has always been, look, I really don't give a shit what goes on social. I'm at a point now where I've either been through so much shit that has made me feel this way, or like I try and think about it logically. I just don't give a shit unless there's an act that happens after it,
Yeah.
right? I don't care if you talk to someone. I don't care if you're chatting in DMs. Are you fucking this person? Are you like setting plans up to this happen, right? Like, I don't care, because like now it's at a point where it's like I have had to think like, yo, if I like this photo and I'm with a girl, is she gonna take it this way?
I
Is
think
she
now
not?
you're thinking, though, because what you said, she's saying it's not about me, it's about what other people are
Yes.
seeing. So are you thinking now, is this friend gonna see it? Is this friend gonna see
Well,
it?
to be
You know
honest,
the friends are gonna see.
to be
it.
honest,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the friends, and like I've clearly said, look, this all stems from like a particular situation that happened within our friend group, right? Like, not to like name names, but essentially, this dude who was in a relationship was like hanging out multiple different women, like sleeping around and shit. And one day, one girl that he like slid into, like DM, that girl literally just screenshot it and sent it to his girl. Didn't know his girl, but she literally just screenshot and sent it to his girl.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, look, anyone that seems to think like this is the impression I'm giving off by liking a photo or like responding to a story, like I really don't, I don't consciously think like, yo, this person's gonna think of it this way, because I know I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like, if they were to,
projecting.
if they were to like screenshot some shit, I'd be like, yo, here's my phone. Like, you could just see what I'm saying.
It's a
right?
projecting thing, man.
But it's just it's so problematic, because like, it's actually like the more I go move through this world, I realize like how much people really believe this.
So what did you learn?
But but you said something very important, where it's like, she's like, I'm not mad about it. It's about what other people are
Yeah.
gonna see. It's just like cheating. Like, honestly, if you cheat and only you and your girl know about it,
Yeah.
and the other girl or whoever, you're 10 times more likely to, if you want to stay in that relationship,
Yeah.
keep that relationship going, because only you two know about
It's
it.
the embarrassment.
And blah blah blah. It's the
Yeah, when
embarrassment.
everyone finds out.
Oh,
When
everyone knows you're
everybody
fucking
knows
around on
that
me?
you're
Like,
fucking around.
yeah.
It's making people look stupid,
Yeah.
and that's you.
see, that's
Your
the-
girls got to realize that, like,
But that's the
especially with
thing,
things
though.
like that, you can't control how other people are gonna feel, and you shouldn't even care.
But this is the argument though, right? So like, I agree with you. Like, I 100% agree with you. But to play devil's advocate, and this is most often what they say, is like, yes, I cannot control what other people think, right? Technically, like, I can't think what they think,
Yeah.
but my actions dictate what they think. So when I like these photos, right? The way I avoid that entire like perception is I just fucking don't like these photos. But then that's where I draw frustration, because I'm just like, yo, so now I'm not even being human, because I'm literally using the function of Instagram, which is, if I'm looking,
the button.
they literally, you post photos,
You can like, comment,
you
or
can
share.
like, comment, or share. And what I do, like,
Scroll.
There are times,
Can't do any of that.
Scroll.
you know,
Stare.
There are times.
Stare and
no, I
scroll.
know for a fact. I can't be doing. There are times where I'm literally just looking at the gram and I'm like scroll.
Yo,
Like,
it's a magazine.
It's literally. It's. I don't think about it that
It's an
much.
interactive magazine.
think
That's
about
what
it.
I.
That's
That's what I call
I-
Instagram. An interactive.
I don't think
magazine.
about it that much, and it's fucked up when I literally catch myself. I'm like
Thinking.
I'm like, whoa. Like,
Oh shit! Did I like
should
that?
Why am
should
I
If I
thinking?
like this,
You know, the only
is-
time I think is if a girl's nude. Like
then
if she's just
then
completely
you're like, I know
nude,
someone's gonna see me.
I'm like,
Someone's gonna
do I go off brand?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they're gonna see it.
yeah,
They're all gonna see it.
because there's people that go into that fucking following tab, which I've never.
I never go into that.
I didn't even know this is a thing.
4 guys here who never touch that tab.
I've never
No,
seen that.
no reason.
For what? Why do I care what other people like?
I like what I like.
Like you're cross as if you're in that.
What's
and
Marlon liking?
Yeah, like I don't get that. And honestly, if I'm liking something, that's the only time I double think about anything, and that's because I have like fans who follow me in all
They're gonna see
ages
that.
or
They're gonna be
whatever.
like, "Oh, Marlon like this."
I don't care what girl sees me liking a naked picture. Whoop they freaking free the nipple. Like we're doing this. This is a thing. So it's like it's a magazine for me. Literally, that's what
I mean, like
Instagram is.
that's it's just a fun. I'm utilizing the function of it, but what did I learn?
Yeah,
It's like
get off topic.
I'm basically just learning to. I'm learning to try and navigate certain conversations around this more properly, right? Because the problem is like I fall into a place where I'm just like, I start compromising because I actually do generally really like this person, right? I could like someone so much and I'm like, I try and compromise, but then it gets to a point where it's just like...
At first it seems like, I guess I don't need to like things.
But then
Where does it stop?
A couple weeks,
Well, where does it stop?
It's like I spent so much time like arguing back and forth about the same thing, and it's like sometimes you just have to understand that like you won't always come to agreement with the person that you actually really like, right? And if that's gonna be the reason why you break up, you just kind of have to accept it.
I also feel like we as men kind of have hold some responsibility for that as well, because if you're not doing, I feel like if you're doing everything you need to show your girl that you know you're mine, don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Then she's not worried about that kind of stuff. Maybe. So
maybe,
it's like
maybe. That's a maybe.
I still say maybe because
there's guys who do exactly what you're supposed to do.
Not even that. It's just like there's things in their past that have led them to be like, guys could put on such a perfect front because we have to. At first, we have to be that perfect guy. So it's like you put up this, I don't want to say facade, but you be your best self. And then sometimes, like throughout the relationship, you get a little comfortable.
Fall through the cracks.
And like, there's some things you slack on or whatever. So it's like, if a girl is seeing that change in you, and like she's seen this pattern before with a guy, they kind of get scared and guarded.
I understand that. I just think the reality is like everyone at some point is gonna feel some type of way about something that happens on social media, right? Every single person, whether you're a man or woman, you will. It's just like, you kind of have to sit back sometimes and be like, okay, what does this really mean? Like, if I'm liking a photo of someone that's across the country, like, what are the chances?
I take Twitter way more seriously because those are your thoughts. That's like an online journal. You know what I mean?
This is decisions.
And like, there's a lot more heavier weighted topics and discussions that can happen on Twitter. But at the same time, you got to keep it within
you sometimes you just really need to look at things. So I'm just like, listen.
And sometimes you just need to stop giving a fuck. It's just like, why am I gonna stress myself out about something? If it's happening, it's happening. I can't stop it. I can't nothing until it's revealed to me.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of just gotta, like, Lath was talking to me about this the other day. It's like, it's like our egos get in the way of so many things. We like create problems where there literally are no problems.
Yeah.
It's just you thinking too much, or you like, even just your feelings will have you scared about certain things that you're seeing. So it's like, for example, Ryan with the free the nipple thing. If he really cares about this girl, obviously he's gonna feel a way about this girl going outside and showing what he feels is his like sacred
mine,
little thing.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But there's no logical reason of why he should feel that way. It's not like,
and she's not mine.
She's having sex with anybody. She doesn't belong to him. Like, but it's the
protective.
feelings. Like, there's a thing in feelings where it's like, it's not something you can calculate or anything you can measure or put a finger on. It's just when it happens, that's when you know that, okay, I don't like this. You know what I mean? And like, you can't really even anticipate it and be like, okay, this is going to happen. How am I going to feel about it? Like, how am I going to, some things just happen. And in that moment, your feelings lead you to saying something that you didn't think over for too long because you feel so strongly about this person. You're like, I got to get this out right away.
No, you're right. Anyway, we're nearing the end, so you guys
have any questions for the boys?
Oh,
ask us a question each. And
I
then
was listening to one of the episodes. I can't remember which one. I had a question about cheating. Me and Lathan discussed this the other day. We were like, yo, honestly, if you cheat on your girl, you cannot cheat with just one girl. You gotta cheat with like 10.
This is your theory?
Yes.
I think I know where you're going with this. Can
Okay,
I
go
see
ahead.
if I know where you're going with this?
Go ahead.
Is it because if you cheat on your girl, I'm trying to understand. If you cheat on your girl with just one girl,
You're basically.
It's the worst thing ever.
You're basically.
wait, okay, go on.
If
Go ahead.
your girl finds out you've been fucking with one chick,
Okay.
like y'all been going out, you've been over there fucking, your Netflix is on her, is in her house now,
Yeah.
like her login.
Wow,
And it's like,
that's an L.
No, but that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
you're deep-
If
you're
it's the
deep
one
in it.
person, and like that's all, like she checks your phone, that's the only
just
person
one.
you've been messaging. There's hearts, tongue, whatever emojis, and like, wouldn't your girl be less mad if she saw it multiple and it was just no? Actually, let me put it this way: if you were having a bunch of one night stands.
This is the most hot.
So like you
take
go
thing
to
I've
a
ever
club,
heard.
you go to clubs and you're having sex with a girl. You guys don't talk afterwards, but you're going out and you're cheating.
But
essentially.
never again, though.
But never again.
Okay.
Wouldn't your girl be more likely to stay with you if you're just bouncing from one to one,
I think
as
it's a
opposed
Honest.
to
A new like another
just
relationship.
basically it
Like
seems like
another
another
relation,
deeply
yeah.
It's a
rooted
different-
emotion invested.
This is the
relationship.
hottest. This is the hottest.
a hot
It's a hot take, but I
here's the
feel
thing.
it.
Here's the
I
thing.
feel it.
Here's the thing. This is the hottest
I'm
take
trying to
thing
turn
I've
this
heard
into a
in a
stand-up
while,
thing.
but this really speaks to how men think versus women. Because I'm telling you, I'll tell you right now.
You're trying to
that,
find a
like,
loophole.
No,
I'm not trying to find a loophhole.
No.
It just came up, and,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
I'll tell you right now, like, that is what a man would think a woman would do if he was a woman. Like, if he
Yeah.
became a woman, he'd be like, you know what? I'd be okay with, like, I'd be
I've
more
heard,
okay with,
I've honestly heard women say
and what,
that they
what-
prefer.
Forgive me for asking, what type of women are these? Are
These are women that like, literally, I've listened to them because of the fact that they are, you know, those girls that you talk to where you're like, I can't get one over on you, can I?
But here's
Like
the
she's
thing.
kind of
But you know
intimidating, or
what?
it's
Okay.
like,
Okay,
you know,
you know
all
what
of
it
our
is?
tricks,
You know what it
those
is?
type of
Yeah.
You know what it is? I don't think that they're more likely to stay with you, but I think the acts of you being cheating with just one person is more disrespectful to them.
It's a different type of anger.
So I don't think they're gonna like be like.
It's just different levels of anger.
It's just more levels of anger. They're gonna.
But that's what I'm saying,
They're not
essentially.
gonna be with. I don't.
It's
I don't
gonna be
think-
less angry.
I don't think. Okay, if that's your question.
Diluted anger.
Like, my thing is,
But
if
like-
you get caught cheating, you just gotta make up 10 other girls.
To remove the
To
emotional,
remove the emotional
aspect
aspect of that
of what
one
that
chick.
one.
Guys,
You just gotta be like, I have a problem.
guys,
It's not you, because honestly, if you're talking to one other girl, then she's more likely to think, what am I doing
but
wrong?
here's
What
the-
did I
no,
do
no, no,
wrong?
No. Hold on. I think
trying to make up a
I think-
cheating hack.
I think
I mean-
I think by default, anyone's gonna feel that way. But we did talk about this with the coffee girl, right? It was like this is what we said, right?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like you being in a relationship, you've been in a relationship for a while, and things are messy, like things aren't going too well, and someone else comes into the picture. There's a question is like, do you leave to go with that person? Or you
80-20, yeah.
And it's like, you technically, no, well, the answer for me is like, no, if I've already built up something with someone for a long time and I'm just going through a rough patch and then someone comes to the picture who's kind of cool and I only know one aspect of that person that's come into my life, right? Like, they could be a piece of shit once I
Yeah.
get to know them. So it's like, I would much rather try and work through this shit.
Sick of what you know.
But the problem is, the coffee girl, we met her at the coffee shop, we call it that, represents like so many bad things, right? And it's like, in this situation, if I'm cheating and it's just with one girl, there's a, like, if I'm gonna cheat, like, I'm gonna go all out. That's the way I'm thinking in my head. No,
I hear you.
No,
I hear
it
you.
sounds
What's
bad.
the point
I'm not
of
saying-
making
no,
out?
No, here's the thing. I'm not saying like that's what I've been doing, but I'm saying that that's
I get
what
what you're saying.
if
In
I'm
theory,
gonna- in theory, if I'm gonna cheat, I'm gonna go all out because I know that if I'm only cheating with one other person, I have to like this person. right? Like I have to be emotionally invested to be like constantly like, yo, let me.
I'm gonna keep going to your house. Just keep coming to your house.
I'm gonna keep doing all these things that I would be doing with my girl. Like pretty much, if you're gonna be a piece of shit, you may as well go all out and be a piece of shit. Because otherwise, like, why not just break up, right? Yeah. But it's all problematic. Either way, it's all fucked up. Like, I think
all of it's. I want to make that clear. Yeah. I'm not saying any of it's okay. I'm just saying, like, it just came up in conversation, and we want to see the dynamics of that. Because it's like, I really feel like.
Pretty much, if you're gonna be a piece of shit, just go out. Don't half-ass it. Like,
exactly.
Don't half-ass it.
You might as well, like, because the more you half-ass it, the more it seems like you have like a secret family. Like it's like you're just like having another life over here. But
because you know what it is, like put it like this, right? Like if you know what? Okay, I had a boy. I'm not gonna say his name, but I had a boy. We're not in a relationship now, right? So it's whatever. But I had a boy who's cheating on his girl, right? And I used to.
Car you drive?
I'm joking. Yeah, just drove a nice car. But still, I used to give him shit. Because, like, his girl was, like...
Don't tell me she's mad cool.
She was mad cool. Like, I remember once passed out drunk, she took care of me and all this shit. I felt very bad, right? And I was like... I think I knew her, like, maybe, like, 2 weeks before I knew him, right? Not... But it wasn't like we were tight, but, like, it was one of those things where...
I know you both.
Yeah. And it's like... It was to the point, you guys might think this is flagrant, but I was just like, yo, if she flat out puts me in a corner and confronts me and asks me, like, yo, are you cheating? Is he cheating?
You would have been like, yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
Because she's that nice of a person.
She's that nice.
To look in her eyes and be like,
yeah, that's why I would have said this,
that's
right?
your bro.
And he wasn't my bro, but like,
that is. If he was your bro,
but it's enough. But it's enough. It's enough for me for it to be problematic.
Yeah.
Point is, it's like he was cheating, and it was with like not every time we go out, like every month, it'd be like someone different, right? And it'd be like, yo, this is fuck, like this fuck because you're messy, and like this is fuck, and I don't want to get involved, right? Yeah. But now that I think back on it, if it was just with one person,
you kept seeing the same girl over and over again,
you would have been like,
I'd be pissed, and I'd be like, yo, you need to fucking break up.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And
you know why.
The more I think about it, I'm like, yo, we are fucked.
I'm telling you, you know
that we think this way. Because I know if it was the roles were reversed, like if I found out my girl's cheating with one guy versus multiple, it doesn't matter. Like it's just like, yo, I think
you're not.
For a lot of women, they don't want to start over. Which is why a lot of women stay in relationships. They're like, I gotta do this all over again with someone else.
I feel that way. I feel that way sometimes.
Even that, yeah.
I don't want to start
feel that way.
Bro,
even especially when you've like
to get to know somebody,
you've helped someone grow as a human being, and like you've shown them new things and like all that. And it's
not only that, to open up yourself and
it's just so frustrating. It's like I don't want to get to know.
I don't want to have to do this.
I don't want to ask you.
We've invested so much.
I don't want to ask you anything.
I don't want you sucking anybody else's dick the way I taught you to suck penis. Like you know what I mean? Like it's those little things.
I created you. Exactly what I wanted.
I made you. Yeah, but that's how we feel, and it's like a lot of women. I feel like for guys, it's the pride thing and the whole like not trying to be sensitive, not trying to look like a bitch, all that other shit. Women don't necessarily have that problem because we already think that they're sensitive. We already think that they're emotional, whatever. So if they decide, you know what, I'm not like we're gonna work on this, blah blah blah. It's like they're way more likely to do it than men. I feel like way more likely. I don't think if your girl is cheating on you, is any of you guys staying? If you find out your girl's cheating on you,
I've done it. Remember we talked.
Remember the last time?
You know what you did? No, I'm not. I'm absolutely not.
I'm out. You out?
I'm not.
I've done it.
I can't say I'm out.
I'm not.
And the thing, look,
you can't say you're out.
No.
Why?
That's just how I feel. I don't know. I've thought about this a lot of times. I'm like, okay, I've used to be like, yo, if my girl
you said you're
cheats,
out. Last time we had the episode, you said you're out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Since that episode, you changed?
I think
in 3 weeks.
Revelation.
This guy said 3 weeks.
That was like 4 months.
Yeah.
In
6 months ago.
In 4 months, he had the revelation. Now you might stay.
I think it depends. It really just depends on like what we've built.
I say my wife. I don't know. My girlfriend gone.
That's what I'm saying. I can't say. Well, I mean, my girl, my wife. I mean,
that's different. That's not the same.
Okay, well,
my girl. I'm gone. You're my girl. I'm gone.
If it's my girl and we have kids,
if I married you and I found out you cheated, I'm like,
if it's my girl,
union.
if it's my girl and we have kids, and she's not my wife,
you're still my girl. You're still my girl.
so you're gone.
You're still my girl.
I don't know.
I'm like, you're not.
I couldn't.
Oh, if we have kids,
I couldn't
that's
just make that just so simple of a.
If we have kids, it's
Anyway.
different.
Because if you have kids, you built something. You have a business together or something. Like you built something.
Why aren't I marrying her? Why am I
Who's
doing?
to say you're not
Marriage
going
is
to marry her?
yeah.
It's just like it's some people, they don't have time, money,
Yeah,
whatever.
I guess.
But if you built something and invested with someone,
Then why'd
and it's
you
like
cheat?
they made a
Why'd you
mistake.
cheat? Oh, that's not a mistake. Don't do that.
Whenever a woman
Don't do
cheats,
that.
it's the man's fault.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I hear you. I hear your point. I've heard that before, but
That's a fact.
The reason, look,
That anytime a woman strays,
not anytime. That's not true. Because there are girls that actually do. There are dog girls out there too.
Hold on.
There are dog girls, and you know there are dog girls,
Marlon-
and you know.
I know there are.
So
but
they're
I-
not doing that because the guy.
I-
This is for
Let the resident expert who's been cheating on talk about this. Okay?
I've been cheated on too.
Okay, so here's the thing. Look, here's the thing.
You been cheated on,
I
Jake?
got cheated on too, man.
Look, I will,
What?
the fuck?
Yo, I'm out here getting disrespected too, man.
What are you guys doing? Because I never been cheated on.
no, seriously.
It was a great luck. So I'm good.
I will straight up say, like, look, if a dude cheats, is mainly from like 95% of the time, it's just to get a nut.
But that wait,
There's
that's
available-
why that
Different.
question you just asked. I want to touch on that because that point you just said.
Yeah.
You're saying if a guy's sleeping with a bunch of girls, blah blah. I believe most guys, not all, most guys
Yeah.
fuck for the feeling just to get a nut. So that is why.
Just like flavors.
That is,
What
but
is that
But I'm saying
flavor?
that is why that is quote unquote better if the guy's doing that than with
Rather
one
than
girl because that means he
emotionally
likes that one girl.
Yeah.
He has to like that
Yeah,
one girl,
I-
not just like he has to like her.
There's
He
no
has-
other
it's-
explanation.
He has to. He can't
See
tell
it?
you, oh,
It's
it's just sex.
emotionally
He can't say it's just sex.
Exactly.
He can't because he has to like her.
But then-
But see, I don't like that either because there are a lot of women who can detach sex from feelings.
No, I didn't say girls can't do that.
No, but the way you're saying
No,
it
I'm saying-
sounds like
No,
men can do this, but women,
I know that.
if they're doing it, then
No, I'm
it's
no.
got
I'm
emotions.
saying for the question you asked me, us. I'm saying the reason that would be viewed at just in that example, the reason it'd be viewed at to fuck more girls than one girl is because typically guys can do that. Not girls can't, but typically guys can do that. And if a guy
See, this
is
is
doing
why,
that with one girl, he likes
This is
her.
why thing.
He definitely likes
This
her.
is why Insecure like hit home for so many people. Me in particular, because like, bro, like you know how you just said women if they cheat, like 95% of the time it's the dude's fault, right? Like it's because look. You like you said, it's not like women can't detach like just having sex with them with emotions, right? But a lot of the time, I feel like if it takes a lot for them to make that decision, especially if they're in a relationship, to be like, all right, I'm gonna cheat on my dude for X.
a lot of planning. Like,
right?
it's-
But
yeah.
here's the thing:
they're more
like
succinct.
They're better
that
at it,
show,
man.
like Insecure, like perfectly laid it out. Right? Like Lawrence didn't understand for like
Yeah.
a while, like what he had done wrong, leading, even though it wasn't right.
His friend had to tell him,
She
right?
had even
Yeah,
she
yeah.
had even told him.
Yeah.
His
Like,
friend had
yeah,
to tell him.
This is what you're not
Yeah,
doing.
it wasn't until really his friend
His
was
friend
just
had to
like,
tell him. He's like, yo,
do you like? Not that I agree with Issa, but like. You do know that you weren't like shit. You
weren't
know,
working.
you weren't
You were a
doing
waste
nothing.
man. Yeah.
It turned her off.
It turned her off, right? So it's like most guys in that situation, like if they get cheated on, they don't take a moment to be like, well, why? They're just like,
She's a bitch.
they're like,
She's
what the
a
fuck? I'm out, right? Sometimes you need to take that because straight up, that's what I did, right? Like I took that moment and I was like, yeah, I
deserve this.
definitely see like what I was doing,
Yeah.
but even though it wasn't right by
Justified,
any means,
but,
I was
yeah.
like, all right, like I see.
But you're
I see
saying
what
there
I-
was something.
There was
like it
definitely
wasn't
something.
just like
There definitely was something.
Whoa, what's
Feel
that?
comfortable saying what it was?
Yeah, pretty much it was just the fact that like it ties back to the social media thing,
Fucking
right?
knew
But
it.
it got to a point.
I fucking knew it.
It got to the point where it was just like I really did not care like how other women. Yeah, I didn't care how she felt and like how other women were like coming towards me because I was like, yo, I'm not acting on it, so it doesn't mean anything. But like it got to a point where it was making her look bad, right? Because all these women,
That's your man. That's your man.
because all these women would like just say shit, and it was just like I'd be like, whatever.
I would honestly, I would have honestly asked to talk to her friends. Like, just sit down in a room and talk to them. Because
I didn't fuck with any of her friends. There was like multiple reasons why. But,
see, this is layered. It's
Yeah.
got layers.
I didn't give a fuck about her friends though. Like I feel no ways about saying that. Because
We're friends.
Well, you feel extra no ways about saying that now.
I feel
but
no
why,
ways.
why did you feel like that when you were in a relationship? Or that was it
Feel
like
like
something that's? Did you know them prior?
no.
So they just.
I didn't know them prior.
Did you meet them?
No, here's the thing. There was some of her friends I was cool with, but it was a classic case of one of her friends that she would always talk to about wasn't a relationship, but like I had never met this girl. So it's like I felt like everything to this day that she would like say about me or like my person
Was her man? She was seeing her man, and
I was
She doesn't even know you like that.
she was projecting her own man.
No, you don't even know me like that. You don't even know me.
She was in a good relationship. She was in a good relationship, but my problem was like I don't know you. I've never met you. I've never
How you
had a
give my girl
conversation with
advice?
you.
But that's what I'm
So
saying.
like, you
Meet
can't.
this person.
So you can't like say anything to me or about me, right? And it got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I really do not care, and it frustrated me. It got to a point with constant same conversation back and forth. And I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I really don't care how you feel.
I don't know how
right?
I'm gonna deal with that situation because I've luckily never ran into a situation where it's like the friends are sabotaging me.
It wasn't just the friends though, because like here's the thing: the reason why like I really fucked with my girl is because, despite that one incident, like she was like she pretty much is what I want, right? It's just like this is like there's no fuck
Filled
shit.
out the checklist.
Filled out the checklist, but it was just like it was that one thing that happened, and it happened because like I was doing fuck shit along the way. But it still doesn't excuse what happened. So from that point, it made me look at her differently, right? Which is where the complications,
unsee it.
which is where the complications.
Can't unsee the pine.
Oh.
You got pine.
The problem is,
It's like that Seinfeld episode
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, you ever notice that she's always like doing that clicking thing?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
What clicking thing? I never heard clicking thing. And he's sitting there, he's like, what the fuck?
yeah. So I don't know. It's just like it's one of those moments where it's just like, listen, you really kind of like I feel like that was probably the most mature point I've ever been at in my life, because 9 times out of 10 I would have been like, I'm off this, right? Like there's plenty of other girls, blah blah blah. But there was reasons why I stuck around, which quite frankly most people wouldn't, right? Like it's just all it takes is someone to sit with it. A lot of mans wouldn't do it, right? So
Better man than me, Z.
no, just
Better man than me.
Better man than me.
Fucking black and mild like that. Come on,
Guys
out of
say
here.
like, Dad, you a
Better man than me.
You gonna tell Willie that.
Jay, you have a question for us before you wrap up?
I don't have a question,
You
but
don't? Okay.
I'd like to know. I guess
So
I do
this
have
is a question.
now.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
I'd like to know if you guys put your woman first. You just-
what does that mean?
First and foremost,
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't look like Jackie. Secondly, what does this podcast like since starting it? What has changed and what hasn't changed? Do people come up to you more?
We were
Do
in
people?
relationships, and now we're not.
Do you know about that?
I didn't know.
Oh,
we
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about that when you guys came.
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
That was like the
So
one major
funny.
thing.
You guys talk.
You guys broke up. You guys both got out like a week after. Or
Yeah,
some shit,
but
right?
a couple weeks. Yeah.
Became
So,
extra savage. Broke up like 3 weeks later.
yeah, we started the podcast in relationships as a result of the podcast and us opening up each week and venting. We're both just like, I'm not happy.
And I don't think
That was more so you than me.
That was
but,
that was me.
I don't think women realize that we have these discussions with each other, like
Yeah,
when
off
they're not
camera.
doing
Yeah,
shows,
but I think that's what it was. I think this was like the conversation we normally have just on a camera.
yeah. My last relationship, same thing. It was like
Yeah.
the conversations I'd have with the man, just sitting around is just like, yeah, maybe this isn't
Yeah.
right.
And
What else changed? What else changed?
What else changed?
I talked to my mom about my last relationship. My mom was the one that kind of put the nail on the hammer, or the hammer on the nail rather, for that, because it's like it's my mom. It's like she's been through mad stuff, and it's like I'm not necessarily yeah, I'm a mama's boy, but still at the same time, it's like she's not gonna. You guys ever talk to your parents about your relationship?
Of course, yeah.
It's
And
always
it's-
sound advice. Usually.
Yeah. And usually after that, you're like,
My mom be predicting shit. Like she's on that wave. It's like God
I actually
damn.
don't, to be honest with you.
you're talking to your parents.
Have you never been in a relationship
not really.
invested enough?
I don't have that type of relationship with my parents.
Not
Where
really.
I talk to them about that type of
It might be age.
I never
gap,
did. I wouldn't have years ago, like high school and all that shit. No way.
You're just older now. You're just
And
like,
so I'm older now. It's like, what's my mom gonna say?
yeah.
I'm gonna tell her whatever I want to tell her. Plus, it was like, at the same time, it was stuff that was like literally stressing me out to like to the core. It was like, I need my mommy. Like, and it's like I was super confused as well too.
Yeah.
So it's like talking to my mom was like good clarification.
And yeah, in terms of what changed, I think the podcast has helped me, almost like a therapy way.
I feel the same way on that one.
Like if it's almost like we come here every week. You guys do it too, but we come here every week, like excited to do this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to do this because I'm like, yo, whatever happened this week or like whatever
Think about
happened.
coming back to it every day until it's there.
Like it's like I come here and I'm like, whatever stress I have or whatever thing happened in the week, we'll talk about this. And we don't always bring up a direct thing, like something really happens, like something happens in my life. I don't bring it here and be like, this girl did this. It's not like that. It's more just like,
You should. That'd be lit.
nah, it depends.
I like your stories.
I bring them sometimes, but not everything you want to talk about. Like, you know, something you want to deal with yourself. But
Yeah, for sure.
it's been a therapy way for me to. Now I think the more we're 30 episodes in, and literally I don't think one episode has been exactly the same. Like I've tried my best to try and make these different and have different topics and stuff, but because they're all so different, I'm learning something every time I re-listen to it, and I think I know, like like you said, we're in relations before when we started, and we end up breaking up through it. I think that process is allowing me to know exactly what I want, like through this.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Gotta practice what you preach.
yeah,
again.
if I'm saying this clearly, this you know what I'm saying. There's no way I can say this on record, post it, have people ask me questions about it, and then not do it.
And the way the universe works, you're probably attracting that person towards you.
Exactly. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I like. This is what I won't deal with. This is what I will deal with. And that's realistically, it's weeding people out too. Because I mean,
That's what I was gonna say.
if
You
someone
find
listens to
out
it-
Girls
a girl-
are so dumb.
You find out what you don't like.
I'm pretty sure there's girls listening to this right now that may like me, may not like me, whatever. I have girls give me flack for something and say like, "Oh, you said this in the podcast." I'm like, "Well, that's okay.
That's how I feel.
That's how I feel. Like you don't like this. That's okay.
fine.
That's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. I just know not to
Right.
invest any time.
So
in
I
that.
think it's a good tool because it's like maybe a girl that might have been thinking of approaching me. Let's say.
It's like, ew,
Actually,
Ryan's
let's
a
say this.
dickhead.
I'll bring this up right now. Flaws of culture or flaws of couture. Sorry, I don't know if you guys know her on Instagram.
Flaws of couture.
Flaws of couture. I think that's her name. If I'm
Read
hope
the
I'm not
page one time.
hope I'm not butchering it.
Let me
Flaws
see.
of couture.
Yeah.
She's a plus size girl. We actually did a panel with her a few weeks ago. We did the panel, girls versus men versus women. She's a plus size girl. She advocates for plus size women. She
Big
posts.
influencer. She got 68,000 followers.
Yeah, she's big, like big on Instagram. So she listened to one of our podcasts, and this is actually a real thing. She listened to one of our podcasts, and one of our podcasts, both of us said we don't like big women. We strictly said like I'm not into it. That's not for me. He said something about like your lifestyle. If you're
I
like,
get look. I get. And here's
we'll go too deep into it. Okay,
No,
bro.
we'll go deep into it. But it's not like we flat out were just like
We weren't bashing.
don't like
it.
We weren't bashing. We're being
Like,
honest. Like,
I gave-
I'm
That's society today, though. It's like
Yeah,
you
you
said,
know,
you
very-
can't say what you like
yeah.
if it goes against
Yeah.
what people are fighting for.
But here's the
And,
flag
like,
that I got though for it because I talked to her separately,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I said a very specific reason why, and I was like, I train all the time. I would like to be with someone who trains all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
very
is
simple.
valid.
And she
But-
took offense.
Not offense, but she made a post about it and tagged us.
A post
Oh,
and
shit.
tagged?
In the
On
story.
Instagram?
In the
Oh,
story.
story.
In the story.
Yeah.
Not,
I don't care.
Not, but not, it
wasn't like-
wasn't,
it wasn't like
negative. It wasn't her.
flagrant.
Oh.
It wasn't negative because we're cool with her.
Yeah.
But it was. I know she took it personal because we said something about like he doesn't
What
like
was the post?
something about she tagged WNTT podcast, picture of us, picture of the episode, and said so paraphrase, I don't know word for word, but they don't like big women or something, but love yourself, blah 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 blah. Like I'm a plus size woman.
That's shade,
Hold
bro.
on, hold on.
That's shade, bro.
We knew.
I know where she's
heavy
coming
shade,
from.
dog.
No, that's shade.
It's heavy.
Wow.
Heavy shade.
It's
dog.
because I know her personally now.
Oh no, I didn't mean the word. You're a jackass for
Yo,
that.
you gotta say no pun intended.
Listen,
Yeah.
because I know her personally, we met her personally. I know it's not an attack.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is stuff like that, like I know because we said something like that, some people might take it a certain way, and she took it a certain way. Like we don't like. I don't like a big. I just don't like a big. It's not for
How
me.
do you not take it as an attack?
Because she's a big woman, right? But what I'm saying is how this is filtering people out is because let's just say she liked me. She doesn't. She's married, whatever. Yeah. But let's just say she liked me, and I said on the podcast, I'm not into big women. Blah. You're not approaching me. You're not.
Why'd she have to tag you though?
This
I
is
feel like
my
she threw your
point.
niggas under the bus.
She threw you guys under the bus and you're saying because I know her. It wasn't that. She definitely shaded you guys.
We didn't take it
like,
we know what we're doing. We know what we're putting out there. You know, you put something out there, it's gonna come back to you, and it's not always gonna be positive. It's not always gonna be negative.
Public forum. I get that.
So I didn't take it like we don't like because she told us she fucked with the show. It was just that one episode she heard, and she's like,
I just feel like she could have.
She tagged y'all in it though.
You guys about it. It's like when T.I. or Tyrese posts about somebody. Call me, bro. I don't like this disrespecting. DM me.
I don't know. Maybe just maybe
at the end of the day, you guys are allowed to have preferences.
Absolutely.
Everyone's allowed to have preferences. Even if everyone, listen, you
We're
cannot have a preference of everything.
Yeah, no.
There's no one on this planet that's gonna be like, yeah, I like everything. So it's like someone's gonna take offense to it, and that's their own problem. Like that's an ego thing that they gotta deal with themselves. You guys are allowed to like what you like.
The reason I'm saying I didn't take it personally is because it is public, like you said, and like you just said, it's social media. Yeah. So I'm not gonna let you you listen to my podcast. I thank you for listening, and you tagging our podcast. Someone's gonna watch it because of this.
Some exposure,
whether they hate right, whether they hate it, whether they agree with you. Someone's gonna watch it because of what did they say about big women? Maybe all the big women come and listen to it. I don't care.
You don't want that.
I do.
I don't come. I don't care.
Bring on the fluff.
I don't dislike big women, but I'm saying this is the whole point of social media. This whole point of the podcast is to bring people together through conversation. Come listen to the podcast and listen how we said it. We can just say big women are terrible. You're fat.
Like I want people yelling at their headphones or whatever they're listening to it on, and be like trying to be like, oh, I want to be in the room so bad.
That's exactly what we want. Yeah. So, I mean, from this podcast, we're learning that you may step on some people's toes. Okay, come talk to me. Talk to me about it.
Come find me.
Yeah, talk to me about it.
Literally every time I just say, come on the show. Like literally, like when someone draws issue with something, I'm like, that's cool. Come
voice it.
Come voice it so I can done off the clock.
Come on, everybody. Like if you want to, like so many people say, like, oh, I have so much I could say, blah blah. It's like, just come on the show. Like if you want to talk about it, come talk about it.
You guys are all welcome.
It's not like I have beef. Like I don't know you, I don't have beef. So just come on the show.
We've only gotten like constructive criticism. I don't think anybody's
extra gravy likes big girls, so the big girls can come over to extra gravy.
But no, like I feel like it's only we've never ran into that problem where it's like somebody just like saying something like that where it's not necessarily like constructive criticism, because I don't see the constructive criticism there. I don't see how that helps you guys other than promo. Like so it's
it is what it is.
At the end of the day, it's like if you guys are okay with that, then hey.
Anyway, that was a good episode.
Thank you guys again for coming by. Drop your socials.
Made the journey.
We went through a lot for that with that one. I'll probably hit maybe at least 6 or 7 questions.
Yeah,
at least.
What are your social media? You guys never said that at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, my social media is that dude McFly on everything.
I'm Jay Montenegro, but I'm trying to get my Twitter switched over to Jay Montenegro. Working on it.
What are you working on it? Just do it.
Working on it. No, some nigga has it, but it's inactive. But I figured it out.
Someone has your name?
So then put a 0 in there.
Nah, I figured it out. I'm gonna get the Jay Montenegro. I figured it out.
You gotta pay this nigga?
So
nah, he's been inactive since 2014.
Oh, so you shouldn't get him deleted?
Yeah.
And then take the name.
Yeah. Dead ass. I'm coming for that.
You know what cheeses me to that point? You know how I can't have Top Boy, right? Because some dude has the original one. So I followed the original Top Boy on Instagram just to let him know that I'm watching from the Switch.
Same spelling as yours?
The nigga's been liking all my photos.
Oh,
so
that's
I'm pissed.
insulting.
He's like not gonna change it.
Like, oh shit, this nigga drone.
I'm here.
I try to like reverse tactic it. I'm like, yo, just get rid of your shit. And now he's like, no, I'm gonna like all your stuff and let you know.
Y'all spelled the same way?
Exact same way, but I have to have a
throw
0.
Oh shit.
How many,
he's the OG.
But you could throw a 0. That's tight.
1,500?
Yeah.
What does he do?
Nothing.
He's
a regular dude.
They never do.
Who's it? Is it Top Boy Adam?
DM him and ask. It won't hurt to ask.
I don't Top Boy. I want to DM him and just be like, yo, just get rid of your shit.
It won't hurt to ask. Be like, yo, can we just switch names just because I'm trying to keep uniform with all of my social media.
He'll just say,
blah, blah.
"Shut up."
Right. I like the drone shots, but fuck you, man.
Later, blocks you. Later. You can't even find him.
Oh my god.
But thank you guys for stopping by.
He buys a drone
disrespect.
and just does the
You have to
same
go
shots.
kill
He
him.
goes to the same place the day
Oh
later.
my god!
You have to go murder him.
You'd have to kill him.
Alright, satellite tracker.
You'd have to kill him. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. Great episode. I'm
Thanks
sure
for having us.
Sure, people will love it. Extra Gravy Show. Make sure you guys go subscribe to theirs. They're doing a lot of good things on their show. How do you describe Extra Gravy Show? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? No, what do you guys do? What
That's
is?
literally-
Put the
that's what we
gravy.
do.
We get the stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then there's initial gravy.
Then there's the other pot of gravy.
Then what we do is we ask for more.
My question is, if I've never listened to Extra Gravy before, I've never listened to it in my life, what can I expect there?
Niggas.
Niggas doing nigga stuff.
Thank you guys for stopping by.
All types of niggas.
We need to talk.
No, we talk about pop culture that happens throughout the week. Twitter culture, if that's the thing now. We talk about things that we work through as creatives.
Growing pains.
Growing pains. We talk to creatives.
You guys have a thing called the Good Youth of the Week?
Yeah, we have the good youth of the
What
week
is
where
that?
we highlight two people that we feel were good youths. If
Now
we
we're
did
even getting a
something-
lot of good. People are giving
People
us
are
good
giving
youths.
us good youths,
Oh,
which
wicked.
is great.
So good youths turning into its own
thing.
fucking.
People
Good youths
send
are
it to
giving us good youths, and
Wicked.
it's becoming a good youth village. Yeah.
Good
Kinda
Youth
tight.
Village.
So yeah.
Village of Good Youths.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys again. We'll definitely come back on your show again. You guys can come back on our show again. And hopefully the goal...
You're gonna come back on our show?
Goal, I'm sure for both of you guys, for all of us, is to have fucking live shows. We just...
Joint live show.
Bodega.
Super joint live show.
We all went to Bodega. Jay didn't go, but we went to Bodega
Oh, how
Boys.
was that?
We should do that.
Huh?
We've been
A com-
saying.
We should do a
combo?
joint
Yeah.
live show.
We've been saying.
We
that.
need
Is
to
that a-
talk about extra
Is
gravy.
that a...
That's what it's called. We need to talk about extra gravy.
No, that could be in the plans. That could definitely be in the plans.
That'd be
I'm
lit.
actually down to do that.
That'd be super
That's a
lit.
WNTT exclusive as extra crazy. If you guys are listening to Extra Gravy, you guys know that's the thing. But yeah, that's definitely something we should do in the works. A live show is something we definitely work on. Thank you guys for stopping by another episode. We Need to Talk. I'm your host, Mr. KOA, alongside
Top boy.
and it's We Need to Talk podcast.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.